More baseball?
Some pots.
And we'll double that order.
This is great.
For free.
I love it. I love it.
Spoken like a man who has stayed up late many a night.
I've seen plenty of late night
What's that number?
Commercials.
314-436-7900.
Oh, that's right.
That's the number you call and text the show. And you want to tell us about how excited you are because playoff time is coming.
Yeah, so today's the last formality. Everything is set. Cardinals are facing the Phillies. That was decided last night when the Phillies lost and the Padres won. So it's Philadelphia. So the same matchup that we had, a little bit different format, but the same matchup that we got to see 11 years ago, which, by the way, was the last time the Phillies were in the playoffs.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. The last time they were in the playoffs was the Chris Carpenter, Roy Halladay game when Ryan Howard blew out his Achilles.
Yep.
And now they're back, and it's instead of those guys like Howard and Utley and all that, it's Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, and it's a different group. And we're just beginning the process of talking about that particular team, the matchup there. And today, it's just a day for the Cardinals. They're going to get a bunch of people in, I would assume. They haven't even announced a starting pitcher just yet. I'm sure they'll do what they've been doing here in recent days and have some kind of tandem or some kind of set of short outings for everybody. They will be facing Johan Oviedo. He'll be pitching for the Pirates, so former Cardinal, now there. You know, Oviedo's 4-3 with a 3.12 ERA.
Hey, good for him.
I mean, he's talented.
He always had that thing, you know, kind of felt like there could be something there.
He's got a great ability. He just couldn't throw strikes, and maybe he'll fix that as he gets some more experience pitching on a team that doesn't need you to be at your peak every time out.
And for people who are worried, Ryan Helsley did jam his finger, but apparently not a lot of concern right now.
Sounded like it. I mean, he didn't seem concerned after the game. The report was just going to let it rest for a couple days and see. But it is a concern, though.
Yeah.
Because as silly as a jammed finger sounds, when you use that hand and that finger to throw 104, if it doesn't feel right, it's not a good thing.
It's the middle finger too, right?
Yeah, which is the strong one.
That's the one.
That's the one that
with all the grip.
That's where you apply the pressure to throw your breaking ball. It's where you apply the pressure to make sure you're going to get the right backspin on the fastball, and it'll affect your command. So, I mean, we're not trying to scare anybody, just saying that.
Hey, thing to look out for. You can't pretend it's not happening.
Yeah.
So, or we could. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Let's pretend Ryan Helsley is fine.
My approach. I'm not even lying. I thought this morning, I am going to pretend like that didn't happen.
That's not a thing.
But by this evening, the whole
I don't believe you.
Everything in baseball will be done. Every game except for one is being played at roughly 3:00 today. 3:05, 3:10, something. And there's one, I think there's a doubleheader that starts earlier than that with Toronto and Baltimore. But everything's done by this evening. Day off tomorrow. It'll be a workout day at the ballpark. And then Friday, we don't know the time yet. We're all still waiting because MLB's stupid.
It's just, I hate it. So, I mean, are you kidding me? Like, all right. I know for a fact, because Major League Baseball is a huge organization with a lot of people in it, that they have been doing all the permutations of what the matchups could be and what would be, what sort of things we could be looking forward to on Friday. So they know what the possibilities are, which means they have a plan in place and have had for a long time. If this, then this. If that, then this. Like, they know, right? So all the playoff matches have been decided. The matchups are decided as of last night. There's no reason that we didn't know at 11 o'clock or midnight last night who was playing at what time. At bare minimum, we should know by 7 o'clock this morning. We should already know what time the Cardinals are going to be hosting the Phillies on Friday. And the reason it matters is there are people who have jobs.
There are people who work in radio that may or may not get a half day on Friday.
Oh, there's that too. But I'm talking about.
There's also people in radio who are going to the game on Friday and are super excited about
it. See, I'm going to. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there are people who have to make plans for this.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're coming in from 100 miles away, maybe you're a Cardinals fan who is going to travel for the playoff game. Wouldn't you like to know if you got to do a day thing or it's going to be a night thing? It's just totally ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, give people some notice so they can plan ahead.
Yeah, and you're right. And it's pretty obvious what is likely to happen because of the time zones involved and the TV markets involved, right? Like Mets Padres will be prime time. There's no question. It's New York, and then obviously West Coast. You don't want to start them real early because that's not fair to their fan
they're not
base.
playing at 9 a.m. or whatever.
Nobody wants to watch the
California.
Guardians and the Rays, so that's probably going to be the earliest game.
That'll be the first one.
Yeah, and then other than that, it's like, okay, so what do we want to do with Blue Jays Mariners? Again, probably as late as possible because you got a West Coast team there. And the Blue Jays are a pretty good draw in their market, and Toronto's a big market.
And Seattle, their first playoff appearance in 2 decades. So
21 years, yeah.
So that's going to be a pretty big deal for
them. And then obviously Cardinals-Phillies is a really big matchup. So you got 2 teams with a huge fan base, right? I mean, Philadelphia is a massive city with a huge sports following. The Cardinals have a regional following. So they're really kind of like number 2, I think, in the pecking order when it comes to importance of coverage. The Mets-Padres will be 1 because it's always New York. And,
right.
You know, I mean, we all get that.
Seinfeld's a fan, so.
Yeah.
Did you see, I know, not the point here, but the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee episode where Jerry Seinfeld and Matthew Broderick go.
Wait, Matthew Broderick's a comedian?
Not really.
I mean, he's in comedies.
He's in some comedies, but he
so
was
I guess
on the
that
show.
Counts.
Yeah, and they got to go into the Mets locker room. They put on the uniform. They
no, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's pretty fun playing around on the baseball field.
Jerry's got a suite at the ballpark.
Yeah.
It's Citi Field.
Kind of
still called Citi Field?
I don't know. So I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have an ownership stake.
Huh.
I kind of
as wealthy as he is, you would think he would. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't want that, though. Maybe he just wants to be a fan.
Yeah.
He's neighbors with Ina Garten, the barefoot Contessa, who is a cooking lady that they say if you could switch places with any famous person, who would you switch with?
You've said that. I remember
it
this
would
now.
be Ina Garten, the barefoot Contessa.
What an interesting choice.
I know. It seems very relaxing. She has a little house
you
in
guys
the
can't see it. I'm giving Amy the side eye.
Yeah, it's
that's a
you have fascinating interests.
Thank you, Ron.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to Amy.
I know.
I thought it was going to be more like, you're stupid.
Okay, well, Kevin, thanks.
I don't.
We know how
I would not say that to her.
Yeah.
In front of other people.
Yeah, right. The Meet the Mets song is a great song. Is that
it really is
sacrilegious for me to say that?
No, it's good.
It's kind of a good song. It's old timey. That's probably why I like it.
There's nothing sacrilegious about liking other things. And so I love "Oh Canada."
Yeah, it's a good national
I think
anthem.
it's a great national anthem.
It is. Not gonna
You're
lie.
right. It's a
good
national
It's
anthem.
so good.
You know why too? It's singable.
Yeah, it's singable.
I love our national anthem. I mean, I'm very patriotic. It's hard to sing.
Our national anthem is like an Irish pub, or not Irish, an English pub song. Like the tune in the background.
That's what they took it from.
Yeah.
It's a good. I like our anthem a lot. I think it's really cool.
I do too.
But the "O Canada" one is just you're right. It's easier.
Singable.
Some of the words are just simpler. And I'll say the coolest thing I've maybe ever seen for an anthem was Vancouver when the Blues played the Canucks back then.
That was awesome.
05-06. But that in person, it was stunning how big that was. Like every person in the arena singing along with this opera star who was leading it.
Edmonton did the same thing too. It was really good. And as you guys will find out later, the American national anthem is very difficult for some people to sing.
Would you say, Ron, that you're implying that it's too difficult for some people to sing?
It is too difficult for some people to do in front of a crowd.
Like Carl Lewis?
Like Carl Lewis.
Like Roseanne?
Well, Roseanne was trying to be funny on purpose, and it was bad and stupid. What this person last night in Cincinnati in front of that crowd of I think about 13. Well, the paid attendance was 13,000, but it looked like 10. 10 people, not 10,000. But this lady performed an anthem. You're going to hear it later. It is not great.
All of you claim to love the national anthem, but name one other Francis Scott Key song.
Is this it? Is that what this is? Crank it up. Is this it?
Yeah, he was on the drums.
Oh, yeah. I love Francis Scott Palin.
All right, we're going to check in, I should say, with Mike Claiborne a little bit later on and talk a little baseball. Later this next hour, we'll check in on what's happening with the Supreme Court this session. Next up, we'll talk a bit about what's been happening in Ukraine here on the show.
Feeding America is working with local food banks in Florida to assist those affected by Hurricane Ian. To support Feeding America, make a donation at feedingamerica.org. A message from the caring voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, We'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
This month's Zero Rest special. The more you clean, the more you save. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129 or 5 rooms starting at $199. A 43% savings. Take $75 off any air duct cleaning package. Call 314-474-2020 or go to ZeroResSTL.com.
Hey, Ed Brock, everybody. If you love Halloween like I do yourself a favor and visit Johnny Brock's Dungeon. Why shop those tiny pop-up shops when you can shop 30,000 square feet of locally owned Halloween fun? We're open all year at I-44 in Jefferson on the edge of Soulard. Johnny Brock's Dungeon, a St. Louis must-see.
You had a solid retirement dream, sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize and travel, but inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want, and Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Yes, with inflation, interest rate increases, and a possible recession looming, we are no doubt facing uncertain times in the housing market. But as a realtor with over 20 years of experience, I can tell you, if you're thinking of selling your home, now more than ever, you need a realtor to help you through these times while saving you money. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and we offer all of this for only 4%. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
10-year-old George Haruza and his parents, with only what they could carry in a suitcase, made a daring escape from behind the Iron Curtain of communism, risking their lives to secure the freedom and promise of America. George Haruza learned English, studied hard, and worked harder. Overcoming every hurdle in his way, George Haruza is now a world-renowned surgeon, educator, and physician leader. George Haruza earned a reputation for getting difficult things done in his own life, medicine, and business. Now, George Haruza will bring that results-based record to the state Senate for greater transparency to improve our schools and healthcare, to find solutions to protect our families from rising crime, to bring back high-paying jobs, and to implement policies to reduce runaway gas and grocery prices. George Haruza for state Senate, a record of getting good things done.
Paid for by Haruza from Missouri.
We go where you go. 1120 AM, 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
All right, it's 10:20 here on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Marsh, course, Kevin Wheeler with you. We're efforting someone with a good military background, maybe Jeff McCausland, maybe Mark Herkling, somebody like that, to talk a bit about the details of what we're seeing in Ukraine right now, the losses that Russia continues to take. I know we talked last week about what is essentially, it's not really a draft, but they're calling up troops. They're calling up people. The conscription of people that are bound to come when called, but aren't really active duty military, and how that's gone over so poorly. In the last 24 hours or so, they've had to actually, was it somebody that was embedded with Russian troops has admitted, yep, we're backtracking. We're getting knocked backward. And this is all while the annexation of these 4 areas was quote unquote made official. It's very odd.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many elements to this conflict right now. People are following Putin, his threats, his increasing isolation, the way he levies about language regarding tactical nukes. Then you also are looking at the losses the Russian army is sustaining. You're looking at the conscription and how the borders are just log jammed with people trying to escape Russia at this time. All the flights were sold out. And some of the numbers are so big when you look at the losses, the devastation, and this entire idea of this conflict and how and when it could possibly end. It's easy to get lost in the big stories and not just see the individuals who are dealing with the horrors of this war. And Isabel Kershudian, who I met in 2019, I really got to know her during the Stanley Cup run with the St. Louis Blues. She covered the Washington Capitals for the Washington Post when they won the Cup in 2018. And in 2019, I remember her telling me that she would either be heading to Afghanistan or Russia to work at one of the Washington Post bureaus there. She is multilingual. She speaks Russian. She speaks multiple different languages and just an incredible reporter. She is now the bureau chief in Ukraine for the Washington Post and has had many A1 above the fold stories. There was one recently about Captain Anton. They just go by his first name to protect his identity. He is a Ukrainian soldier whose job it is to collect the Russian corpses from the soldiers that have fallen. And it's pretty graphic at times, but this story looks at Captain Anton's life right now. He has single-handedly picked up more than 250 dead enemy soldiers, and a lot of times their bodies are in pretty bad shape, not holding together. He's having to put the pieces back in bags, and then they're sending the soldiers back to their home country of Russia. But it's so gruesome, and the loss, the suffering. There are multiple torture camps that Ukrainian soldiers are finding as they clear out areas where Russian soldiers have set up. Quite literally, just these torture chambers that they're rescuing people from. It's beyond comprehension at times.
It will be proven, and if it already isn't, but I think once the dust does settle, and hopefully it happens fairly soon here, but I get the feeling this is going to be drawn out to a point it doesn't need to be. We are going to find out that there was no real good plan, that there was no reason for this to happen. In fact, we already know this was an invasion that was totally, wholly unnecessary, and it was only done because one guy doesn't like the way things are, and he wants them to be the way they were 40 years ago. That's all this is about. It's one guy who thinks things should go back to that, who thinks he has the ability to change things, and he is a radical ideologue. Mm-hmm. And all that's going to happen here is a lot of people are going to be dead, a lot of families are going to be destroyed, and that includes Russian families. Mm-hmm. That includes people who are forced to go fight. And we saw in the first couple of weeks of the war, there are a lot of Russian soldiers, and that's not to say all of them, because some of them are committing atrocities. But there are a lot of Russian soldiers who, even early on, were fleeing, and then they would find Ukrainian families. And we saw the videos of Ukrainian families giving cell phones to Russian soldiers so they can call mom at home. So they can call back home and be like, I'm okay. And they're crying because they don't want to be there. And there are a lot of people who are suffering in both countries because of one person.
Yeah.
And it's all pointless.
To the soldiers who don't want to be there, who are leaving, trying to flee, a lot of these guys are in their teens, and they are fighting a war that they don't understand, that they don't believe in, because, as you mentioned, Ranjay, a pseudo-imperial megalomaniac who believes that the greatest disaster in world history was the fall of the Soviet Union is trying to rebuild that empire. These guys weren't alive when the USSR existed. It's ancient history to them. On the other side, you have the Russian soldiers, the many Russian soldiers who are committing war crimes, human rights abuses. I don't want to get into too many of the details regarding the torture chambers, but Dmitry Zlenko, he's 26 years old, and he had been held at one of these detention camps run by Russian soldiers. He said, quote, "They beat us, they tormented us. They took us to the forest to shoot above our heads, and every day at 11 a.m., they brought me here for my electric sessions. When I was here, I didn't want to live anymore." And the electric sessions referring to torture chamber, high voltage chamber. So just awful. And again, that's not even the more graphic parts, and I don't want to get into those. But I think will also the Ukrainian military is going to continue to uncover some pretty horrific abuses.
Of course. We're going to find out some really bad things, and we already have, and it will feel overwhelming, but there's going to be a point here where I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be, but I know the Ukrainians I can't imagine they're ever going to back down. So it's astonishing to me that anybody is suggesting they do and concede anything. Who of us in this country would ever concede anything if Canada decided to do what Russia is? Let's say Canada was a
You're
nuclear...
not talking about Elon, are you?
Yeah, I mean, like, what are these people talking about? There's just no way on earth that we would ever concede anything. So don't expect them to.
No. But of course, Elon's take was pretty popular in Moscow. Not a great idea.
Twitter's going to be awesome now.
Who's Talking Sports, weeknights at 6 on KMOX.
My name's Matt Pauley.
Matt Pauley gets you inside the Cardinals.
Maybe these games mean something. Maybe the lack of offense means something. Or maybe it's just this team played their games that mattered in August. They won the division during that run.
Has great guests.
Love the show. Really excited to be on. I'm really looking forward to talking some St. Louis sports.
Matt Pauley, the Meyer Jensen Sports Open Line. Weeknights at 6. Non-Cardinal game nights on America's Sports Voice. KMOX.
KMOX News Time is 10:28.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
You know, the Midwest Money slogan, isn't cash in the bag better than scrap in the drawer? This is Johnny Rabbit. Midwest Money, the oldest coin shop in St. Louis. Buying, selling, and trading since 1971. Silver and gold, coins, sterling silver, flags, medals, daggers, and more. Not sure what you have? Bring your collectibles to someone you can trust. Midwest Money at the corner of Hampton and Holly Hills. You'll be happy you did.
Disasters, floods, crisis. These events can take a toll on your health. Stress, anxiety, and other symptoms are common reactions after a disaster. Show Me Hope, Missouri's crisis counseling program, has free and confidential support for anyone impacted by the severe floods that struck St. Louis in July. Our disaster distress helpline provides immediate crisis counseling. Visit moshowmehope.org to get connected to local providers. Brought to you by the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Trish Gazelle for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Online at youridoc.com or 314-966-5000.
Goodwill and St. Louis Union Station have teamed up to take you under the sea and over St. Louis. When you donate a car, running or not, you can receive 4 tickets to the St. Louis Union Station's aquarium and wheel. Donating a car to Goodwill is quick and easy, and towing is free. Plus, you'll get a good feeling from donating to a charity that does so much in our community. For more information, visit mersgoodwill.org.
At 10:30, we have sunny skies, 64 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. OPEC has decided to cut oil production. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the story.
Oil ministers have agreed to cut production output by 2 million barrels per day, or about 2% of global oil demand. But Dow Jones oil analyst Tom Closa says he really doesn't expect it to be that much.
Probably going to amount to something between 5 and 800,000 barrels a day.
The production cut could lead to higher prices at the gas pump, which could in turn impact inflation and the midterm elections. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
Looking at the markets, the Dow from Stifel this hour is down 340 points at 29,975. In other news, Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed laws absorbing 4 Ukrainian regions into Russia. His move finalizes an annexation carried out in violation of international law. President Joe Biden traveling to hurricane-ravaged Florida with a pledge that federal, state, and local governments will work as one to help rebuild homes, businesses, and lives. Biden says he plans to put politics on mute for now to focus on those in need during his tour today in Fort Myers, Florida. A malfunctioning South Korean ballistic missile blew up as it plowed into the ground during a drill with the United States that was a reprisal for North Korea's launch a day earlier of a weapon that flew over Japan and has the range to strike Guam. The explosion panicked and confused residents of the coastal city of Gwangyang. Their concern that it could be a North Korean attack only grew as the military and government officials provided no explanation about the explosion for hours. An update on the roads for you. A couple stalls to watch for. One of those is on westbound 64 at Clarkson on the right-hand shoulder. Another northbound 270 just before you get to 64. Be prepared to stop there because of traffic. Checking the forecast for today. It's going to be a warm one, a high near 80. Clear tonight, a low of 57, and another warm sunny day tomorrow, a high of 81. We have 67 degrees in Florissant, 66 in St. Peters, and in downtown St. Louis, sunny skies, 64 degrees. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
What's up, everybody? Guess who's hosting a new podcast? No Mercy with Stephen A. Smith. Listen as I pull back the curtain on everything beyond the world of sports, interviewing influential guests, outspoken celebrities, and thought leaders across the political, financial, and social spectrum. You know me, I'll give you my unbiased opinion. A No Mercy episode drops every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. No Mercy with Stephen A. Smith, a presentation of Cadence 13 and Odyssey Studio, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to your podcast.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
You're not just looking for a doctor. You're looking for a way to feel better. At Archwell Health, our team is devoted to improving the lives of seniors like you. Barbara was ready to try chair yoga for the first time. She took one of our classes and met friends along the way. James chatted with his doctor and the team dietitian and got to the bottom of his dizzy spells. Archwell Health members enjoy a community of comprehensive care because you are more than a patient. Join today at archwellhealth.com/livewell.
Hi, this is Charlie Brendan. Do you have a home or a business made out of stone or brick? If so, listen up, because Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis for 31 years. Morelli Tuck Pointing can work on completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches. This time of year, people notice that their patios are somewhat cattywampus and those bricks need realignment. How about caulking, waterproofing? Morelli is a family-owned and operated business. Longtime employees there feel like family. And of course, everyone at Morelli is very proud to be a recipient of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to local companies with exceptional customer service. Today, you can call to request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387. When it comes to bricks and stone, go to the best. Morelli Tuck Pointing at MorelliTuckPointing.com.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
It's the Cards and Pirates this afternoon. Ameren pregame show 210. First pitch 3:05. Hear the game on KMOX and streaming on KMOX.com.
Well, look, I mean, I think part of it, quite frankly, you have national regime media that they wanted to see Tampa because they thought that that'd be worse for Florida. That's how these people think. I mean, they don't care about the people of this state. They don't care about the people of this community. They want to use storms and destruction from storms as a way to advance their agenda. And they don't care what destruction's in their wake. They don't care about the lives here. If they can use it to pursue their political agenda, they will do it. And so I think there was a lot of buildup about that.
That was Ron DeSantis in Florida yesterday. And as we kick this segment off on the show, I just want to say that this right here, this is the stuff we need to stop doing. We need to stop doing this national regime media, or they want this or they want that. Nobody wanted Tampa to be destroyed.
Nobody
wanted any part of the state of Florida to be destroyed. Nobody wanted people to lose their homes, to lose their lives, to lose everything that they own. Nobody wants that. And we need to start holding elected officials accountable when they say those things. That is not okay. No people want those things. Nobody.
Yeah, in that interview with Florida's Voice, which I'm not exactly sure what that is, must be a local thing, Florida local thing. When he says national regime media, I mean, he's trying to say state media, and he's trying to say that anybody who doesn't agree with him is like Russian state media, but here in the States, which is just such a weird thing.
Regime is never used in a positive way.
No, well,
not all.
Maybe in
very
sports
rarely.
sometimes.
Very rarely, though.
Regime?
Sometimes, kind of. Kind of. It's borderline. I'll just say it's borderline in sports.
It's okay. Yeah. Normally it's pretty negative.
Yeah, in the regular world, nobody says that in a positive way.
This was my favorite freedom-loving regime.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's trying to say here that it's just the press, or if he's saying that the press is an extension of his opponents politically.
Yes, it's that
which is
one.
crazy. There's nobody wants Florida to be destroyed. I have my issues with the state of Florida and how it's run and how some of the people are. But I have my issues with a lot of people in different states. This one, Illinois, like I've got my issues with all kinds of people. But to say that any of us who are, and I am not on Ron DeSantis's political side, to say that I want Tampa to be destroyed or Fort Myers and I don't want any town, and that's outrageously stupid.
Right.
It is a very, very, very dumb thing to say.
Yes. And what it is it's playing on the rhetoric of grievance politics and negative partisanship.
Which I'm so tired of.
If you can make yourself, as a politician, if you can make yourself a victim, what it does is it makes your followers exponentially more loyal to you. They get defensive for you. And it's not so much that they are, and a lot of them do support whatever your policies are, but it's an easy get, it's an easy grab because you're not necessarily putting forth policy. What you're saying is the other side, is attacking me unfairly. And it really goes a long way in rallying your supporters. Donald Trump did this, and we see this. I mean, AOC has done this a lot, but Ron DeSantis has more significance because he's the governor of Florida. He's most likely running for president. He has become a face of the GOP. So when you have leaders within politics doing this, it makes it exponentially worse. And I think one thing that happens a lot is you'll have someone like Ron DeSantis take something that has an element of truth to it, or people can see an element of truth. For instance, it's not shocking to anyone to say that maybe the New York Times editorial board leans left, or CNN leans left in the same way that Fox is, very right wing. We understand that. But what he does is he'll use a broad brushstroke to paint all of the media as malicious. So he's taking an element of something that could be true and then not only exaggerates it and turns it into a lie, but otherwise bastardizes the truth so that you just get all riled up and facts don't matter. Like, no one's going to make meaningful distinctions and say, well, Ron, we understand that The Atlantic had a pretty unfair piece written about Brian Kemp in Georgia. I agree, that one piece. But The Atlantic also hired David French, right? I mean, like, The Atlantic also has conservative pieces. So what are you talking about when you're talking about that magazine or the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal? Those are both legacy media outlets, and the Wall Street Journal is pretty darn positive and supportive of conservative policies. So they take one little wrong and say, see this? This is indicative and illustrative of everything that they stand for you.
Well,
is the whole thing.
The problem here is this is all grade school schoolyard nonsense. Think about if you didn't like when Joe Biden referred to a lot of people as fascist or supporting fascism, if that pissed you off, you shouldn't be okay with it when your person does the same thing.
Right.
We all need to stop generalizing about people we disagree with. We need to stop creating the enemy. We need to stop creating the other, because that is only going to make it worse. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you support. If you don't like it when your political opponents generalize about you, don't then do it back the other direction. And this is not a both sidesy thing. Some people do it more than others. But the fact of the matter is, you can't be mad about one person doing it or something like that, and then be, when your guy does it, going, yeah, see? They all believe that. Nobody all believes anything. The media is a plural. It's a plural noun. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of outlets. They're all different. Some are blogs, some are TV, some are radio, some are conservative, some are liberal, some are right down the middle. But when we lump them all together, all we're doing is playing to anger and fear. And that doesn't get things done in a positive way.
And while I disagree with him, I strongly, strongly disagree with him. I would have appreciated it if at least he said some media outlets. But the way he made it sound is everybody, all media, all regime, whatever the hell regime media actually means. I think I know what it means, but whatever that means, he's saying it's everybody. Whereas you mentioned Joe Biden. Biden was very clear. You may not like the comment, but he was very clear. Not all Republicans. I'm not talking about all Republicans. I'm talking about a very specific group of them. But they don't make the distinction when he does that. Meanwhile, DeSantis is broad brushing everybody. And I want
the media.
Yeah. Yes, he's broad brushing the media. And I want people to be like you, Kevin. I want them to be consistent in how they're analyzing this stuff. But the truth is, what he did in saying this, it's going to work. It's going to work. It will work for people that he's trying to rile up.
Well, and because, again, he will say something about, the media, the regime media, and it's not hard to find individual cases where an opinion piece or a story reports with a slant, and you can pull up that piece and say, see, this is what he's talking about. Again, it's taking an element of something that has happened, an element of truth, and being careless with it or purposefully exaggerating it, because one way to perpetuate lies is not just to continue to lie or to exaggerate, but also to be careless about the truth, use broad brushstrokes to get people riled up. And that's why there were stories. I read a lot of newspapers where a story or an opinion, and there's a difference between a reporter and an op-ed, between a news story and an op-ed, but where a reporter perhaps would exaggerate something that Trump did, or a talking head would exaggerate.
Sure.
And the thing is, that bothered me because Trump was bad enough on his own, and you didn't need to exaggerate what he said, because what that does is it gives psychological permission to those playing grievance politics, to those claiming to be victims, saying, see, they're not listening at all. And then you can discredit
everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
The problem with it all is it's not only lazy to be thinking and talking this way in generalities about groups of people, but when I know I've said this before, and I'll repeat it quickly. Your political opponent in the United States is not your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Your enemy is Vladimir Putin. Your enemy is in China. Your enemy is in North Korea. People that truly want to damage.
And now your enemy
destroy.
is OPEC.
Right. Well, yeah. Good point. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Like if me and Marjorie Taylor Greene, I know, and Hillary Clinton and AOC were all in the streets of Kabul right now, we're on the same team, because the Taliban that's attacking women and torturing women and killing them, that's an actual enemy.
If you're in Iran right now and you're protesting because a woman was killed because she didn't sufficiently cover her hair,
right?
You guys are on the same team. And that kind of thought, those are the people that are against what we are trying to do in the United States, right? It's those opponents from the outside, but we've turned internal opposition, not to opposition, but to enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You're evil.
Yeah.
And you can't survive that way. There is no good path out of that unless you turn it around.
And the only way I can imagine he reached that conclusion is because that's maybe how he thinks. Maybe that's how he thought about Hurricane Sandy or Tropical Storm Sandy, whatever. Like maybe that's the way he was looking. I mean, I don't know, because that never even one time crossed my mind ever. I never thought, oh, good, I hope Florida gets it, and I hope all those people lose their homes and a lot of people die. That's just, it's so bad that I can almost not even put into words how absolutely ridiculously stupid that is to say or to even think. Like, how would that even be on your mind that that's how people operate? And by the way, we have a texter, 314-436-7900, who says, just saying it was Fort Myers and Cape Coral, not Tampa, that was destroyed by the hurricane. Yeah, the point he was trying to make is he's saying we all wish it was Tampa because it's more populated.
And it'd be bigger, more damage for Florida.
Yes, there are 400,000 people in Tampa and 80 in Fort Myers.
Right.
And to your point,
80,000, yeah.
80,000, yeah.
You know, I don't want to ascribe motivations to DeSantis, but I would almost think it's less that that's how he thinks and more of
how he thinks his people think.
No, he thinks it's more of when you expect and think the worst of the other side, that nothing is beyond them. Like, these guys are so bad, they probably wanted people to die.
Do you know how
That's what I'm talking about. It's like we're trying to dehumanize people that disagree with you, and one way to do that is to turn them into monsters.
And
only a monster would want more people to die.
Well, it could be that, but it could also be this. I've known a lot of people, a lot of dudes who cheat on their girlfriends, who are constantly accusing their girlfriends of cheating. And you know why they do it? Because they do it, and they assume that she must be doing it too.
Right.
So I wonder if that's part of his psychology. I don't know, but it could be.
Trending coming up next on the show.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. For windows or siding, check out my friends at Banner Construction. Since 1993, my friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. One of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner Homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. If you're looking for windows, you should know that Banner is a James Hardy Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner is also a Platinum Certified Pella Window Contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. 314-569-1050, bannerconstruction.com.
My name is Dr. Brooke Bello. I'm not a political figure. I'm a survivor. When I was a kid, I was trafficked, drugged, and raped. The traffickers forced me to have multiple abortions. Had my mother been notified, she could have intervened, called the police, and saved me from years of exploitation. Last year, I told my story to General Assembly and Governor Pritzker, pleading with them to preserve the right of Illinois' loving parents to know if their daughters are about to undergo an abortion. Governor Pritzker ignored my cry. He took away the very thing that could have saved me and is needed to protect those being exploited today. Parental rights that protect our kids should never be in doubt. This is personal to me, and I hope it's important to you when you vote this November.
Paid for by people who play by the rules.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AA MCO.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed. I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes, cowboy boots, running shoes, walking shoes, flat shoes, heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
Congress has authorized trillions in new spending, along with doubling the size of the IRS agency in just the last few months. Do you think that is by accident? No, it is with a purpose, to go after small businesses, employees, and individuals who have not filed or paid their taxes. If this is you, don't panic, just call. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Interest and penalties on your tax bill won't stop until you take control. Call me, Lance Drury. I'll tell you in advance an affordable fee, which includes costs and expenses that works for your business and family. Your first visit to the Lance Drury Law Firm is free and confidential, so you have nothing to lose. Call me today. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an attorney. You need us, the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
For garage door repair, St. Louis calls the real Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones who've been here since 1926. Others try to copy the name, but they cannot match the level of service. The red ribbon means 94 years of trust and loyalty from St. Louis homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Call 314-781-5200.
The Center for Hearing and Speech empowers communication. To see how they can help you, call 314-968-4710 or go to chsstl.org.
Clement Auto Group is hosting another trunk or treat for the kiddos.
We're inviting all the listeners to bring their kids, the dogs, and trunk or treat with us on Saturday, October 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m.
Music, game, prizes, and most of all,
lots of candy for your kids.
Come out Saturday, October 22nd to Clement Pre-Owned in Florissant.
Furnace funky?
Then make one call.
And Jerry Kelly will be there the very next day.
Call anytime, 8 to 8, 8 days a week.
And Jerry Kelly will fix your furnace or install a new one the very next day.
JerryKelly.com.
As the leaves change, leave the hiring to Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. More Amy, more Kevin, more Chris.
What is this weird show?
The Show on KMOX.
What is it? What's happened? What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened? I need to know.
Trending now on The Show.
All right, trending is sponsored by Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Connellville. I
wish we
is
had
it
some
bad?
donuts.
Is it bad when OPEC is trending?
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
yes, it's very, very, very bad.
It means that Biden's trip didn't go so well.
So the news there is they're going to be slowing production by what, like 2%?
2 million barrels.
Yeah,
A day.
Yeah,
A day.
So the reduction is the equivalent of 2% of the global oil demand, and it all sounds terrible, like oil prices going higher and all of that. I did see, though, at the very end, so this is the crazy part, right? You get this long story, and most of it is like, holy crap, this is bad, and we're cutting, and it's going to lead to this, and it could make inflation worse. And then there's an analyst at the end, and he's like, yeah, most of the small oil producers can't even meet their demand anyway, so it's probably not going to have a real tangible effect anytime soon. I don't know if that guy's right.
I don't either.
But that's what he said.
His
name is Rystad. Oh, no, sorry. The company is Rystad Energy. It was Jorge Leon who said that.
But I'm sure that over the next month, the gas prices are going to shoot up as a result of this news.
Well, they're already going up.
Like,
they already
yeah.
before today.
Yeah.
They started going up.
Yeah. And if a bird craps on a refinery, they shoot the prices up immediately.
Yeah.
Because any potential problem is like,
no. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
The price is going up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then when everything's better, it'll come back down in 3 months.
Yep.
You know
Hey,
what's the thing?
guys.
It goes up like a rocket and comes down like a snowflake. Is that the saying?
Never heard that, but
Is that
that's
a
the oil
platitude?
prices. I don't know. I heard somebody say it once. I don't know if it's true.
I think it's
do
an
know-
idiom.
I do know this. When there's bad news, the gas that is already in the ground that has already been paid for suddenly gets more expensive. And it doesn't come down for months after that. That's what I know.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know if
Not wrong.
I don't know if you saw this. You
But
might
it's all Joe Biden's fault, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know if you saw this, but Aaron Judge hit his 62 home runs.
Oh.
And so Barry Bonds is trending because his record of 73 home runs it's still the major league record.
Yes.
And some people are saying, well, but there's a giant asterisk there.
No, there isn't.
So Bonds is trending.
Yeah, just throw the asterisk away. If you want to believe that the Judge achievement is more impressive, that's fine. But it's not the record. Bonds has the record.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay to tell the story. It's okay to say, I think this means more, but the record
Congratulations, Aaron Judge, 7th place all time now.
Hey, it's first in the American League, though. That is the most an American League player. You can have that record. That's his record.
Let's talk real estate for a minute. The St. Louis market is kind of tricky for home sellers right now, with home values going down and not selling as quickly. Now is not the time to risk losing precious equity on your home. This is Debbie Monterey, and I always recommend calling Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is the best. She's experienced every type of market, both good, great, and the not so good. So before you list your home for sale, call Gloria, and here's why. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed to price and time frame, or she'll buy it herself, guaranteed in writing. Gloria already has the buyers, thousands of buyers in her database. In fact, your home may already be sold. Gary and Angela called Gloria and sold their home even before it listed because Gloria had several buyers looking for a home in that area. Call Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's sunny and 68 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour, President Biden will visit Fort Myers, Florida today with his wife to visit with business leaders and residents who've had their lives shattered by Hurricane Ian. CBS News correspondent Manuel Bojorquez.
Some say they're struggling to get through to FEMA or the state's unemployment line. And while, yes, this region is known as a vacation spot, Fort Myers is predominantly a working class community with a per capita income of about $32,000 a year. And that's exacerbating an already difficult situation.
Over 100 people died in Florida, mainly in Lee County, from the storm that came ashore as a Category 4 a week ago. 300,000 people are still without power. Live right now from Florida.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Full power. And
propulsion is nominal.
We're now at T plus 35 seconds into the 5th rotational crew mission on board Dragon and Falcon 9.
In about 20 seconds, it goes supersonic. It's what they call max Q, the maximum pressure on the vehicle.
We'll hear the call out for stage 1 throttle down.
Stage 1 throttle down.
Falcon 9 engines throttling down to help pass through the period of maximum dynamic pressure.
This period is known as max Q, and once the vehicle, there we just heard that the vehicle is now traveling faster than the speed of sound. Once through max Q, we'll throttle those Merlin engines back up.
And already it is 12 miles high. Stage 1 throttle up. A minute, 20 seconds.
Stage 1 Bravo.
This is live from the Kennedy Space Center, the launch of the SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft with astronauts going to the International Space Station, including the first Native American woman in space, the mission commander, Nicole Anapu-Mann.
And next up is going to be a couple of events in rapid succession. First will be engine chill on the second stage and back engine.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk. Experts say read the fine print and compare before signing up for a zero premium Medicare Advantage plan.
Insurers trying to boost enrollment are expected to flood the market next week with offers for private Medicare Advantage plans with drug coverage and no monthly price tag. They're growing in popularity, but shoppers are advised to check them over because they may find better coverage at a relatively small monthly cost. Tricia Newman with the Kaiser Family Foundation says retirees are attracted to the zero premium plans, but older people tend to get sick and use services, so it can be a gamble. Alyssa Brenner, a broker in Charlotte, North Carolina, says it's not a one-size-fits-all program. She recommends shoppers compare how prescriptions would be covered if their doctors are in the network and whether out-of-network visits are covered, as well as copay charges and their out-of-pocket maximum. Jennifer King, Washington.
The Dow from Stifel is down 342 points to 29,973. We've got a crash on I-170 south on the ramp from Page, a stall 270 east at Bell Fountain on the right shoulder, stall 70 east past Adelaide, right lane closed. 44 east, there's a crash before 270. The left lane is closed. Some debris on 70 west at I-270. The two left lanes are blocked. Weather sponsored by STL City SC.
KMOX AccuWeather, a nice and warm mix of sun and clouds for the afternoon, high near 80. Mid-upper 50s tonight, low 80s tomorrow, another warm day, and then much cooler with Friday staying in the low to mid-60s with a jacket handy kind of weather. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Justine DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
The new MLS club is now hiring stadium employees for the historic inaugural season to work for St. Louis's professional soccer team. Visit bit.ly/apply at City, bit.ly/apply at City. Sunny and 68 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Just read the instructions.
Acquisition signal, repeat up.
And the second stage of the Falcon rocket is lit, again carrying astronauts to the International Space Station. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
At 11:05 on the show, Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, course, Kevin Wheeler with you here, going full Kiss disco. And the
still,
it's like the worst.
Wait, that's Kiss?
It's like the worst Kiss song ever, too.
Oh,
like they
God.
went through a disco phase, and it's like the most embarrassing thing in the
Kiss
world.
went through a disco phase.
They did.
Apparently.
In their
Listen,
outfits.
you
with
have to
the
understand.
face
you got to
paint.
stay relevant, man. You got to
understand.
reinvent yourself.
All they cared about was selling records.
Sure.
And they've said that. Like, you listen to them in interviews like, hey, we're businessmen. We're just trying to sell records. And they're like, well, disco's a thing. Let's be some of that.
But they did disco with the face paint.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
they didn't do the whole no face paint thing till much later. Like, what was that, Roger? Like mid to late 80s when they finally, like, here's
Hell,
what
I
we
don't
look
know.
like with no face paint.
And everybody's like, put the face paint back on.
If I saw the face paint and the outfits and they walked out, I would not expect disco.
No, I don't think it really.
Yeah, not now.
No, it's definitely, it was definitely a weird thing. Anyway, sorry.
The point
Sorry
is,
for the tangent.
I think the point Kevin's trying to make is it sucks real bad.
Okay, I gotta tell you guys know what happened yesterday. I was late to our show meeting yesterday by like 30 minutes because here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God, this
Yeah.
story again.
It's not a long story; it's a short story. And
But
I
it is
gotta-
perfect you.
I gotta think.
It's very
Max.
much you.
It is very me. It's so on brand. It's unbelievable. So I had a giant mug of coffee, like a thermos, but it was not a screw on top. It was just, the top that pops on and you can sip, that type of thing. And I had to put on the brakes on the highway. And you may be asking, why wasn't that giant thermos of coffee in the cup holder? Well, I don't have a great answer for that, but it was in a bag on the seat. And so when I slammed on my brakes, the giant thermos of coffee with cream in it spilled all over my passenger side of my car, like the mats, the floor.
You should have a lid on it.
It had a lid, but
you
it was.
should have had it in the cup holder.
Well, there's so many should have, would have, could have, but for whatever reason that defies reason, I didn't. And so I spent 30 minutes like dumping water on the floor mats of my car, and I was very nervous. And Detail to the Max at Big Bend and Clayton Road came to my rescue. They got me in right after the show, and Max spent a long time, but quickly, but he spent time going over the entire area, getting the milk and the coffee and everything out of my car. And I just want to thank Max at Detail to the Max. They're awesome. I highly recommend.
Did they save you some anxiety?
5 out of 5 stars. I cannot even tell you the amount of anxiety Max saved me from because I thought I was going to have to burn the car, honestly, because I don't know if you've been in a car that has old milk smell in it. It's not good.
I have not.
Yeah.
I usually don't take milk in the car and spill it.
You know.
I stopped eating bowls of cereal while I'm
Let me ask
driving
you
a
this.
long time ago.
How much milk is in your coffee? 'Cause it can't be more than like a couple of tablespoons, and you're like, "Oh my God, it's gonna ruin my car forever."
It's just the coffee and the cream in the coffee. I don't know. It looks
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
normal amount of cream in the coffee.
So basically, like a tablespoon.
But it was such a large thermos of
3
coffee.
tablespoons?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a
You're
heavy
just
hand.
overly focused on the milk part of this,
Yeah.
and the fact that it's just a giant pool of coffee spilled in your car.
I think I was traumatized as a kid with, younger siblings and the bottles of milk in the minivan that would spill. So the minivan would smell like milk. That has been seared into my psyche that even the idea of milk in a car stresses me out.
I don't think I've ever thought of it.
Detail
Not
to
like
the
that.
max. Big Ben and Clayton, thank you. You
So
saved
you
my life.
are telling me that this is. I know why you got in this wreck or almost wreck. Almost wreck. I just said almost wreck.
How you got yourself into this bad
I know why this
situation.
happened.
Yeah.
Because the sun, for some reason, the sun on the highways in this city
How did you know?
because you told us.
Oh.
The sun when you're traveling east-west at the right hours. So if you're traveling east in the morning or west in the evening, that sun off the highway, off the street is brutal. It's
Yeah,
like
it's not like that anywhere else.
Nope,
When
it's
you're
only
going
here.
into the sun.
It's only here.
No,
It's only
doesn't
here.
exist.
It's only here. The roads are like mirrors. So you might as well it's like ice. Like the roads look like ice.
The term sun delays doesn't exist anywhere else.
No,
but St.
and the
Louis.
sun, it reflects off the roads in this city unlike any other, and I've been to all the cities. So I propose that
Been
with
to
that money,
many cities. I think it's the most.
Some
we're
people
looking
say
into
they're the
it.
best
We're
cities.
some of the
looking
best
into
cities.
it.
I propose that all of that Rams settlement money is used to repave the highways.
With a matte finish.
Matt Finish. I'll get my buddy Matt Finish to do it. Went to high school with him.
A matte finish on the highways. So
It is
doesn't
pretty brutal
reflect.
though. Like it's
But
it's
that's-
something else.
That is what happened is on the highway, you come over those hills on Highway 40 and the sun is there and people slam on their brakes because we love to slam on our brakes on Highway 40 and the coffee spill.
We do that even when it's not sun in the face in the afternoon going westbound as soon as you get to curvy parts. Anything curvy. Like, oh, I gotta go slower.
Okay.
Like, dude, just if you go this, you're fine going the speed limit. There's nothing there that says reduce speed limit. Please slow down because this curve is dangerous.
Well, it should say, please slow down because the sun's too damn bright.
Yeah, or we can just all wear sunglasses.
Even if with the sunglasses.
I mean, I do it
You know
every
what?
single day.
I think it should
No
be
problema.
it should be state law from 6:30 until 8:30 that everybody has to wear a welder's mask when you're driving.
Sounds like a horrible idea, but let me just get this.
I thought those were to
question.
protect you from sparks, not from sunlight.
Well, then they have the really bright because you can't look into the light when you're welding. You can't look into it.
Okay,
That's why they
answer-
have the little visor thing that's dark.
My gosh, this is unbelievable.
Carol Ann, come to the light. That's all I can think of when you say that. Don't look at the light.
Answer me this. You are me. You're in the car. You
Oh,
slam
God.
on your brakes, and the giant thermos of coffee, yes, Kevin, with the half and half in it, spills all over the mats and in your front seat of your car. Your reaction is?
You can't say it on the radio.
M and an F and then all the things.
Oh, every
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
All of them strung together in like a 30-second thing.
and then
at the-
probably cursing you for no
and I'm-
reason.
And I'm absolutely hitting things in my car, like I'm punching the dashboard or something. Like I am absolutely losing it.
You're losing it?
Yes.
My initial reaction was just silence, and then I feel like crying.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, you cried?
I didn't cry.
Oh,
but
God.
I was proud of myself for not crying. I wanted to cry.
a lot of things make me angry, like you guys well know.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me more angry than when I screw up. I get so mad.
See?
Like when it's me and I'm like, I didn't put it in the stupid cup holder, and now all those bad words would be directed at me.
That's why.
And just punching things.
And that's why God made anger not my reaction, because I am always at fault. It's always
Well,
my fault.
We know.
It's one of the things that drives my wife crazy is that when I do something terrible at home, like
Yeah.
I'll drop a bucket, like I'm trying to refill the ice cubes and I drop the whole thing all over the floor and I lose it. I'm like it's Yosemite Sam, except all the real words coming out. And she's like, "What happened? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just dropped the ice cube." She's like, "Oh my God."
It's like the Tasmanian devil, but with
Yes.
expletives.
Yes.
Oh, but we're overreactors.
Yes, you are.
Texter from 2-314-436-7900 is the number. You can reach us. Says 100% agree with you about the highways. Why can't they upgrade the reflective marks? It's like the lanes disappear. I'm serious. When you're driving at certain times, it's like you are driving on ice,
If
like a
you-
sheet of ice in the Antarctic.
If
It's
you run for
unbelievable.
office and make your platform a matte finish
Yeah.
on the highways, I will vote for you 100%.
Awesome. Let's do it. That's my that's my only platform. What else are you for? Nothing, but the highways have got to be fixed.
We've got the money. We've
Yes,
got the
I-
settlement money, like you said.
That's it. I want
The
all
federal-
of the that's where all the Rams settlement money should go.
It's a matte finish on
Nothing
the highways.
else. No other programs. Nothing else to help the city. We just have to do something about those bright ass highways. That's it. Number one item on the platform. Number one plank. Number two, there are no other planks. That's the plank.
That's the plank.
My only plank.
He's focused.
That's right.
You're focused.
I'm here to get a job done.
That's right.
And that is no more Amy spilling milk coffee in her car.
I could be one of the people giving like my testimony about why we need a matte finish on the highway.
That'd be great.
Maybe it should be that you should always put your drinks in cup holders.
I don't think it fit.
That's
It
a
wouldn't
really
matter.
cheap solution.
It was a fat bottom.
Yeah,
cup.
that's. Oh, you know what? Amy, that's my second plank. Cup holders.
Didn't Queen have a song about that?
Yeah, fat bottom cup
Cups.
holders. That's what it's called. But that's my second plank. Plank number one, less bright highways.
Uh-huh.
Plank number two, bigger cup holders
Yeah.
for your big cups. You okay? Amy's losing it.
I actually think that's a really good thing.
I think this is, you know what this is? Practical reform.
Yeah, we just figured out a big problem in St. Louis and have a solution.
What are you going to do to get people to stop always slowing down around the curvy parts?
That's not my
Okay,
not my purview, Kevin. I
I'm
have
just
two.
asking,
I have
you
two.
have a solution here. Do you have one for that?
I don't care about that. I
But
only have two planks.
But speaking, he's got two planks, no more planks. I will say this, something I'm grateful for. Speaking of like curvy parts of roads, you know, when you're on a country road or even just, not a major highway, and there's a sharp turn. So they have the series of signs that are all the arrows or the series of reflective signs to
So you
show
know
that
to-
it's a sharp
yes.
turn. That has probably saved my life a lot of times because I think those curves would be hard to see. And I'm grateful for those little signs because those hairpin turns, they come at you quick. I think that every time I see the signs, I would be the guy.
You know what? You are. You're
Straight.
you're driving down the road and you're the only person who sees those curvies. Like, I really appreciate the warning.
I
Thank
think
you.
that every time.
That's
no, I'm not
so
even kidding.
funny.
Whoever had that idea to put the signs, the little curvy signs, to show you that there's a sharp hairpin turn,
I think it's
I appreciate it.
I think it's amazing that we as a society have decided safety matters. You know?
Why?
What?
Why are you surprised that safety
No, I said I'm
matters?
amazed, and I think it's
Oh,
wonderful.
Yeah.
I love Amy's thoughts. Amy has, she told us the other day that her brain is like
1,000.
when you have a bunch of
Yeah.
tabs open.
Yeah, 1,000 tabs open all the time.
And the browser starts to freeze up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and also you guys will be talking, and you know how local news stations always have the audio that pops on randomly. Wait, if your volume's not down on your computer, we'll be talking, and then the
the
volume,
autoplay.
The autoplay
Yeah.
will happen on one of the tabs in the back of my brain. I have ADD,
Never
but
noticed that.
it's in the back of
Every
my
day.
head. You know what, Kevin? I don't appreciate your attitude.
That's right. I got my own flaws.
Oh, do you?
Ron's like, yeah, you guys are pretty terrible, but I got it figured
I'm
out.
amazing. Oh, I should tell you about a thing I did yesterday.
We'll do that a little bit later
Oh,
on.
God.
We got that played for you, Lily. We're going to talk Supreme Court at the bottom of the hour. Thane Rosenbaum's going to join us from CBS News to talk a bit about a couple of the big cases we expect to hear about during this session, about the latest push from Donald Trump to see if the Supreme Court can side with him on the Mar-a-Lago document. So that'll be coming up at 10:30. Up next, we're talking about traffic. There's a huge traffic problem in Branson that made some concert goers very unhappy. We'll tell you a bit about it when we come back.
Well, not too long ago, I saw Dr. Birdie over at Ophthalmology Associates, and you know them as the doctors. They have treated more than 250 doctors, and that's more than any other practice. And they know what they're doing when all the doctors are heading over there. And over there is where you'll find Dr. Birdie, Dr. Malhotra, Dr. Brusati, and Dr. Royer. Here's the number if you need to make an appointment, and I kind of think you do, 314-966-5000, or you can head on over to yourEyeDoc.com. The doctors at Ophthalmology Associates are experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. You can call for an appointment today. And again, I just saw Dr. Birdie. So grateful, especially since I just got back from that trip to Canada, and the views were unbelievable. It felt like I was in Narnia. It was so gorgeous. And not only could I see clearly, because Dr. Birdie fitted me with some new contacts, but also I had some eye drops to help with dry eyes. So while I was hiking all day, I didn't have to worry about itchy, scratchy eyes. Eye comfort, vision goes a long way in adding to or taking from your quality of life. So it's so important to take care of your eyes. And I highly recommend the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000, yourEyeDoc.com.
The impacts of this storm are historic.
Text Red Cross to 90999 to give $10 to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief, which helps people affected by disasters such as Hurricane Ian. Message and data rates may apply, or go to KMOX.com for additional ways you can help.
15 years ago, we were adding on to our home. And so I convinced Sean we should update the kitchen.
We did some research and we decided to go with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. Their reputation was phenomenal. To design, do the construction and the finish work, what we wanted was what we got from start to finish. So fast forward 15 years, our family's changed. We've gotten bigger.
There just wasn't the space in the kitchen anymore. People were banging into each other.
We decided 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. Here's the problem. What are our solutions? Comparing working with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath 15 years ago, today, their ability to design what you want was the same.
Everything has been what I want.
The quality of 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, I think, is phenomenal. The countertops and the cabinets that they use are great. They were just good guys doing good work.
For more about your new kitchen or bath, visit 3daykitchen.com.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Hi, this is Kent Newbold at Newbold Toyota. Since we led the St. Louis Metro in Toyota sales in August, the factory gave us a whole bunch of cars. So come see us. Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Why are some people afraid to enjoy their retirement? And why are some people so worried about spending money during their golden years? Maybe it's because they're afraid of running out of money. Maybe they're afraid of depleting their nest egg, either through spending too much or through investment strategies that could result in losses. Hi, my name is Ken Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. Do you have a fear of depleting your savings and running out of money too soon? Let me help put your mind at ease. I can help you create an optimal retirement income distribution strategy that helps to maximize income from your retirement savings and eliminate your fear of running out of money. Call 314-328-4400 today and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-4400. Again, 314-328-4400.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
All right, Reinhold Electric's motto is we do it all, and this is going to prove it to you. They will come out and they'll install kitchen lighting or bedroom lighting or new ceiling fan. They do those small jobs, but they do huge jobs, commercial, industrial, even storm response. With Hurricane Ian wreaking havoc in Florida and up the East Coast, Reinhold electricians were on their way while the storm was happening, and they'll stay until people get their electricity needs taken care of. Reinhold Electric works all over our metro area and beyond. They're, of course, in St. Louis, St. Charles, Lake Ozarks, and southwestern Illinois. There's a lot of people realizing, hey, we've got a reliable electrician even at the Lake of the Ozarks. They do car chargers. You need one of those. Backup generators. Reinhold Electric is who does that for you. Find them online at reinholdelectric.com. That's REIN holdelectric.com, or call them anytime, 24 hours a day, 314-631-1158. Small jobs, big jobs, Reinhold Electric does it all. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
The voice of St. Louis. News that matters to you. KMOX.
'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases.
All right, so a question for you guys. This is obviously Garth Brooks, who was playing earlier this week 3 shows down in a new venue in Branson. Let me ask you guys this. How would you feel if you bought tickets for a concert and because of traffic problems never made it into the show?
I would cry.
You waited 3 hours to get in, never got in, turned around, took 3 hours to get back out.
Extremely frustrated. Extreme frustration.
Whatever Amy came up with when she spilled her milk coffee all over her car, that's the reaction I would have.
Oh, man.
I'd
lose
so
my mind.
frustrated, yeah.
And then I might, that might be a thing that would make me cry.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I'll cry. Why not?
I don't know. Just
spent a lot of money.
That's not a sad thing to me. It's an angry thing.
It's both. You ever cried angry tears? Because that's what I would do.
I see. Extreme frustration makes me cry.
Oh, okay.
First, I would say, "Why did I pay for this Garth Brooks show?" And then I would say,
let's say it was an act you enjoy. Let's say it's Radiohead.
Oh, okay. All right, it's Radiohead.
Yeah,
cool.
because
he's crying because he got in.
Yes, I'm
crying because I got there early enough to get to my seat. Oh no!
Why am I here?
Actually, Garth Brooks is pretty good.
I would be crying the whole way there. Like, why am I doing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks he's good. He's a good entertainer.
Guys, just to
Not my
set
favorite,
the
but he's
table,
good.
it's the Thunder Ridge Nature Arena, an outdoor amphitheater in Branson, which was heralded as it's going to be one of the greatest, newest, most extraordinary outdoor concert venues in the country.
And how'd that go?
There's just, I guess, one 2-lane road that goes there.
Oh, no!
There's a 2-lane road that goes there. So the tens of thousands of people going there could not get there.
So I don't know this particular area. I think it was in Branson a long time ago when I was really young. So obviously don't remember the highways. But I can attest to if it's only like one 2-lane road going to a venue in the middle of nowhere and there's no other way to get to it, that is a nightmare. I've mentioned to you the Field of Dreams game that I went to last year in Iowa, where the Field of Dreams house is. There was only I think 8,000 to 9,000 people who were there in attendance. That's not a lot. We're talking about less than 10,000 people. The traffic to get there, because there's only one rural 2-lane road, was extraordinary. It was so bad. And I got there really, really early. I got there probably, I think the game was at 7, and I got to the area around 2:30 or 3.
Wow.
And it was, we just didn't move. You inched along little by little. And it took me, once I got off the highway, took me like an hour and a half just to get to the field, to the farm. And it's not that far off the highway. I think I only went like a mile or a mile and a half. It was crazy. So I can imagine you got 50,000 people.
They capped each show at 25,000, and it was still a problem.
That's too many.
That's not even, it's half capacity, and you couldn't get people in and out. And if you're looking at the videos, it's miles of cars lined up. But then on top of that, you get to the parking area, you have to take a shuttle to the area where you're going to watch the show. And then according to one of the guys on here, or one of the people that was there, they said, if you're going to go, quote, you'd better be young, in top physical condition with no disabilities. The hill to get down to the venue is super steep. You need to be sure-footed. And what goes down must come up. You have to have the physical ability to do some hefty climbing. So not only can you not get there, but even when you get there, you may not be able to walk from the shuttle to the place.
And
what do we...
And this is now a national news story, not just a local headline. And the headline is worst concert experience ever. Some people were in line for hours and missed the concert entirely.
Oh, that's brutal.
This guy says they saw people with walkers and motorized scooters that got stuck because the walkway is gravel.
Oh, no.
They're telling you, unless you helicopter in, don't go.
If you were there, text us or tried to get there. 314-436-7900. Or maybe you're still there.
Thanks for listening.
Oh, my goodness. We'll give you an update on what we expect from this session of the Supreme Court coming up after the news.
KMOX, built for this.
And there's a comebacker. Helsley has it on the mound, runs toward first, flips to Goldschmidt, and the Cardinals can celebrate a Central Division title.
Wild Card Weekend kicks off Friday when Pujols and Molina lead the Cardinals into Game 1 against Bryce Harper and the Phillies. John Rooney, Ricky Horton, and Dan McLaughlin have the call on the exclusive home for Cardinals baseball, KMOX.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. It's time for our Columbus Day sale, so come on down to Edwards and discover some awesome savings. Ask to see our specials. These are items with limited quantities marked down to move quickly. Carpet and luxury vinyl plank at low sale prices and get 12 months interest-free financing. We're booking installation into November now, so hurry in and make your house beautiful for the holidays. See you soon at either of our locations in Ellisville and De Pere.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
Hey there, it's Hancock and Kelly for First Mid-Bank and Trust, a local bank right here in St. Louis with over 157 years of experience and 19 locations across the greater St. Louis area.
Yeah, First Mid-Bank and Trust is perfect for small business owners. You need a partner that you can count on, and that is First Mid-Bank and Trust, and they're great for everybody, whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement. Check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
It's the Sail On Tour 2022, starring Orleans, Firefall,
You are the woman that I've always dreamed of.
Peter Beckett, the voice of Player, John Ford Coley, Walter Egan, and the Babies with Sail On Tour 2022. Saturday, October 15th at the Family Arena. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.
The Marshall Tucker Band, the 50th anniversary tour. This Saturday night at 7, the Family Arena. The Marshall Tucker Band.
Can't you see? Can't you see?
With Pure Fairy League and Atlanta Rhythm Section. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House box office at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. The Marshall Tucker Band, the 50th anniversary tour.
At 11:30, it's a sunny sky and 71 degrees downtown at the Arch. Sentencing day for a high-profile killing, the case of the retired police captain killed outside a pawn shop. KMOX's Kevin Killeen is at the courthouse.
The convicted killer, Stephen Cannon, is sentenced to life without parole. He tells the victim's family, "I'm sorry for what happened to you, but I was not the shooter." Survivors of David Dorn on the courthouse steps afterwards say the evidence shows otherwise. He was the gunman who killed the retired police captain during a night of looting and rioting across the city. And they say the city has lost a wonderful person who used to nab shoplifters at the old famous bar and tell them, put back what you stole. You can do better with your life than that. At the courthouse, Kevin Killeen, KMOX News.
Russian President Vladimir Putin signed the final papers to annex 4 regions of Ukraine while his military struggled to control the new territory. The documents finalizing the annexation published today on a Russian government website. In a defiant move, the Kremlin held the door open for further land grabs in Ukraine. A malfunctioning South Korean ballistic missile blew up as it plowed into the ground during a drill with the United States that was a reprisal for North Korea's launch a day earlier of a weapon that flew over Japan and had the range to strike Guam. The explosion panicked and confused residents of a coastal city. Crash on 170 south past Page, the right lane closed. A stall 270 east at Bell Fountain, the right shoulder. 70 east past Adelaide, the right lane is closed. A crash on 44 east before 270, the left lane is blocked. And the weather forecast from Dean DeVore this afternoon, nice and warm with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 80. Overnight's low 57 for tomorrow, a high of 81 degrees, partly sunny sky. It's 71 at the moment downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by News Nation.
Chris Cuomo is back with a new show on a new network. Catch Cuomo weeknights on News Nation at 8, 7 Central. To find News Nation on your television provider, go to newsnationnow.com/join us.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, regardless of age or past medical history, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call now, 314-720-8081.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs, 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
Goodwill and St. Louis Union Station have teamed up to take you under the sea and over St. Louis. When you donate a car, running or not, you can receive 4 tickets to the St. Louis Union Station's aquarium and wheel. Donating a car to Goodwill is quick and easy, and towing is free. Plus, you'll get a good feeling from donating to a charity that does so much in our community. For more information, visit mersgoodwill.org.
Show me hope, St. Louis, because the stress and anxiety following disasters can be challenging. Show me hope, St. Louis, because you are never alone. Show me hope, St. Louis, because resources from the Missouri Department of Mental Health are available to help you manage stress and get the support you need. If you are impacted by the recent floods in St. Louis, the Show Me Hope Crisis Counseling Program is here with support for yourself or a loved one. Find local providers at moshowmehope.org.
Your Central Division champion Cardinals host Wild Card Weekend starting Friday. John Rooney, Ricky Horton, and Valley Sports' Dan McLaughlin bring you all the postseason play. Hear it here on your exclusive home for Cardinals baseball, KMOX.
It's Wednesday on the show, coming up on 11:35. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, and Kevin Wheeler with you here. And we're joined by Thane Rosenbaum, legal analyst for CBS News. Thane, good to have you back on. How you doing?
Anytime for you, Kevin, Amy, and Chris, of course.
We appreciate it, and obviously you have a whole bunch of expertise in these areas of legal matters that we do not. So we wanted to kind of run down a few things related to this current session of the Supreme Court that just got underway. And figured we'd start.
As long as it doesn't mean that I have anything else on you guys, because I don't.
Well, you never know.
So we'll start with there, and I think we'll start with the news from yesterday that there is now that Donald Trump is now appealing to the Supreme Court to hear his arguments when it comes to the documents that have been seized at Mar-a-Lago.
So, as you remember, a week or so ago, he received a bad result when the appellate, the 11th Circuit, which sits in Atlanta, ruled in favor of the government's position that the documents could, certainly the classified documents, could be sent back to the Justice Department to continue their criminal investigation. Remember, no charges have yet been filed. He tried in a civil proceeding That's how this started in a civil proceeding. There was no criminal charges yet in a civil proceeding. I want my documents back. They belong to me. And so he had the judge who's handling the case seemed to be somewhat sympathetic in some ways to him. But when they appointed the special master actually returned the 100 classified documents and was dubious about some of the other defenses. So he's just decided, you know what, I'm going to leapfrog and go straight to the Supreme Court and see if I can get a better ruling there.
In two cases, we're looking at affirmative action. You have Students for Fair Admission versus President and Fellows of Harvard College, and also Students for Fair Admissions versus the University of North Carolina. In the Harvard case, the plaintiff is arguing that Harvard's race-conscious admissions process is unfairly discriminating against Asian American applicants, and UNC, I believe, has a similar argument. The plaintiffs are saying that the admissions policy violates the Constitution because UNC is a public university and is subject to the 14th Amendment's guarantee of equal protection. So a lot there, but with the affirmative action hinging on this, what do you see coming out of those cases?
Well, the key thing to that, Amy, is that the plaintiffs are Asian. Right. So they're saying, wait a minute, how is it that affirmative action, which is supposed to be for the purposes of creating opportunities for minorities and other racial groups, ends up prejudicing us? Our GPAs and LSAT and SAT scores are really high. And so we're getting rejected from schools because on the basis of merit, we're not getting in that way. We're losing out because of holistic factors or personality factors to create more diversity and equity on campus, when in fact the whole point of the civil rights movement was to give opportunities to people of color and to minorities. They're saying we're a race. What happened to us? And they're also saying it's a violation not only of the Equal Protection Clause, as you pointed out, but also the Civil Rights Act itself, because Title VI says you can't receive federal money if you're discriminating against anybody. And so both the University of North Carolina and Harvard get federal money. And so they're ironically making a civil rights claim against a university that's claiming to be enforcing civil rights through affirmative action.
The expectation is this session is going to be also very busy. Not that the Supreme Court's not a busy entity, they are, but with the way the last session went and the sorts of decisions that were made, mostly controversial. I mean, a lot of controversial ones. And the expectation is this could go similarly. Do you see it being that way?
I do, for other reasons. Like, for instance, the affirmative action case, because when any of these cases deal with social issues or racial issues, or reproductive freedom issues, it's loaded, right? It's already explosive, no matter which side they decide. And they are much, much, much more aware now through the internet, through social media, that the public has an opinion about the Supreme Court. There's only 36% of the people have favorable opinions of the Supreme Court. In 1975, it was 86% of the people. They have lifetime appointments, but they're not unmindful of the fact that the public is doubting their institutional legitimacy. So they know that any one of these cases, like affirmative action, chipping away at affirmative action, oh my God, last year we chipped away at abortion. Now we're chipping away at affirmative action. There's going to be more protests outside our houses. There's going to be death threats, right? And so here's the case that's coming up. You may remember the Master Cake case out of Colorado, where a great baker, he's called the Master Cake Baker of Colorado, said, I refuse to make a cake for a same-sex marriage. And by discriminating against a same-sex couple, he was violating the anti-discrimination laws of the state. And he said, boy, I have a First Amendment right to freedom of expression. I'm an artist. I'm the best cake maker in the state. You can't force me to make some art that I don't want to. And secondly, I have religious freedom rights under the First Amendment, and I don't believe in this under religion. Now, they didn't end up deciding the case. They decided it on much narrower grounds. But guess what comes up this year? A web designer, a woman who's a web designer in Colorado that says, I am not making a website for a same-sex marriage. There's no way. You can't make me do that. Go to someone else. And they brought anti-discrimination charges against her under the state. And she's now making a similar argument. I have a First Amendment right to express myself in the way that I wish. I have a First Amendment right to also exercise my religious liberty, and you're impinging on it. These are hugely loaded cases that we're seeing coming up, that and voting rights. So I think you're right. They're going to be busy in part because I think they're mindful to the controversy that some of these decisions engender.
Yeah, that one is really interesting again because there is the not the term negative and positive as in good and bad, but the prohibiting speech, like the First Amendment, you don't want to prohibit speech. You also don't want to force speech. And I know that was really in the case with the baker saying, listen, I'm not serving people. It's just certain art, quote art, I'm not creating. Do they lean on stare decisis at all with this? Or are they viewing this as unprecedented? Because it seems like they would lean on the previous case.
So Kevin and Chris, we just proved Amy has all the legal, guns.
Oh, we knew that.
She just looked it up.
Yeah.
You just,
she was
let's slow down thing. She just read it.
I think she's hiding a law degree somewhere that she didn't mention. I was very suspicious when you said we go to St. Rosenbaum because he knows something. I said, wait a minute, I think these guys, I think they know something. I'm going to learn from Amy from now on.
You're not helping us.
Thane,
you're not helping us.
Thane, we appreciate you, but dial it back.
Yeah. So the thing about the Colorado Baker case was that they ended up not actually deciding that case on the First Amendment grounds, religious liberty or free speech grounds. They ended up finding a more narrower, because if they had decided it on either one of those constitutional grounds that Amy was talking about, this case probably wouldn't have come up. It's precisely because they found a different way to dispose of that case. But Amy's right. That was the arguments they made. And this was a moonshot for people who had said, well, we finally have marriage equality, right? We finally have cases that say the right to marry is also within the right to privacy of right to homosexual intimacy, right? Gay intimacy. So now all of a sudden we had some legal argument, the argument that Amy was talking about, that conflicts, that crashes up against the right to marriage equality. Now we're actually going to see it. They're going to actually force the hand and say, which right controls? Is it the right to marry, or is it the right to exercise your free speech and free exercise of religion rights? If they are in conflict, which prevails? And I can tell you this, with a 6-3 majority, and with this particular court, which over the number of years has demonstrated a lot of interest in protecting religious liberty. Remember last year, the football coach who wanted to pray at the 50-yard line? Remember last year, the state of Maine that decided that they wanted to also give tuition scholarship benefits to religious schools, right? Years ago, people would say, you can't do that. It violates the Establishment Clause of the Constitution. This Supreme Court is very sympathetic to arguments of religious liberty. I wouldn't be surprised if they rule in favor of the woman web designer in Colorado.
Thane, you mentioned something a few minutes ago about this has not always been the case. The Supreme Court for many years has been quiet. The public's feelings about the Supreme Court used to be much more popular. And I mean, I'm 50 years old, and for most of my life, I would say that we didn't have a ton of conversation about the Supreme Court. It feels like in recent years, though, there are more and more significant issues coming before the court. Is it just the way things are now that things are being challenged more? Is there some reason why it feels like there are more of these things now than there used to be?
Well, one of the things is that the court itself has become demystified. When you were a kid, even if you knew their names, which you didn't,
I did not. No.
Judges, just tell me.
Amy did though.
Amy had baseball cards with their names.
Yeah.
I had trading cards. SCOTUS trading cards.
Such a law nerd.
I mean, what else are you going to do when you don't leave the house as a kid?
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Some
sitting
people
there.
had friends. Some people had Supreme Court trading cards.
She had posters of the Chief Justice on her wall.
That's real normal.
Yeah. So years ago, we didn't even know what these people look like.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, now, you know, after the pandemic, nowadays, you can actually hear the Supreme Court audio when they're doing oral argument. That was never true. Now you can read the transcript. Now people protest outside their houses. In those days, you would have no idea where they would live, right? The internet has made it possible. Today, you know, CNN turned, you know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg into a rock star, right? With that documentary. There was no documentary about any one of the 9 justices. And by the way, there were 9 men, right? Until until the early 1980s, these were 9 men. You didn't know what they looked like. You don't know where they were from. So some of it and we're much more politically charged today. Again, polarized. So anytime the Supreme Court rules in lockstep with the administration, we go, it's rigged. It's in the bag, right? So, you know, we point to them and say that's what the lack of institutional legitimacy is, saying, they're merely rubber stamping what the administration says. Well, you know, we have a system called checks and balances, mean that there's 3 segments of the government, and they're all supposed to be co-equal. And today there's a lot of questions about that, right? Because, you know, Donald Trump said, I'm going to overrule Roe v. Wade with my appointments. And he did, right? And so that part of the rage that you saw from those who believe in reproductive rights have said, you see, look, that was rigged, right? He said it would happen. He had a lucky streak where he got to pick 3 justices in one term. That was a record. 3 justices in one term, right? President Obama only picked 2 in 2 terms, right? So I just think it's more loaded. Everything is more loaded, and so too is the Supreme Court.
The satirical publication, The Onion, filed an amicus brief in support of parity because there's a feeling that could be in jeopardy with that Facebook case of the guy in Ohio who created the fake police website. What are your thoughts on it, and what will come of it?
I don't know. You know, people are really sensitive now about, you know, internet misinformation. You know, there was an election that we're calling, you know, that was meddling in the election through the internet. There are 2 cases coming up this term in the Supreme Court, one against Google and one against Google, Facebook, and Twitter. And these are brought by people who were harmed by Islamists and are bringing cases under the Anti-Terrorism Act and saying, you've given platforms to mass murderers. You've allowed them to spread their messages and spread their bomb-making capabilities. And you should not have an immunity, right? So, you know, that's the Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which was originally established to give immunity to internet companies to speed up the development of the information highway under the principle that they didn't care what the content was, right? They were just building the roadway, right? But now we've seen they do care about content. They play favorites. You know, they like some issues and they like other issues. They rig some algorithms to produce some information, some others. So normally I would say, look, free speech should always govern. But I do think, and I think the Supreme Court is sympathetic to free speech and parity. You know, there was that famous case, the Hustler case. This goes way back. You guys are too young to know this, but this was the Hustler case with Larry Flynn. And, you know, the Supreme Court in that day, because, you know, our country is very liberal minded when it comes to free speech. We'll tolerate almost anything, right? You know, Nazis marching on Holocaust survivors, Klansmen burning crosses on the lawns of African Americans. We're nuts about free speech. The Europeans wouldn't put up with this for 10 seconds. We do. So normally you'd say, oh, yeah, there's no way. They're always going to rule in favor of The Onion, you know, because we believe in free speech. But I just don't know. You know, remember the cartoons that we saw in France, Charlie Hebdo,
right?
And the cartoons, right? There's a lot of that leakage has come here, where people are saying, yeah, all right, we believe in this, but you know, now there's all this sensitivity to safe spaces. If you say something about terrorists, you are therefore insulting all Muslims, right? So we're very, very confused, and I don't know whether the Supreme Court could right this ship because it's very, very confusing. The we're seeing on campus shouting down speakers at Berkeley. Berkeley University of California, Berkeley is the birthplace of the free speech movement, and now they're shutting down speakers. And they just voted, the law school student organizations, to say that if you're a pro-Israel speaker, you're not allowed on campus. It's just crazy. Like, what? Like, you can't come on campus? No, we will not allow you to do this. So our country is going through a crisis in free speech. And what you've just described is a really good example of the Supreme Court taking issue with it.
Thane, thanks for the information. Always look forward to our conversations. We'll talk to you down the road.
Anytime. Be well, guys.
You got it.
Thank
Thane
you.
Rosenbaum. He is legal analyst for CBS News Radio. You find him on Twitter at his name, at Thane Rosenbaum. Stick around. We're going to tell you a bit about some wedding advice. Also, by the way, we got somebody that was at that Garth Brooks concert, and sounds like it was terrible. We'll get that for you next up on the text line here on the show.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
10-year-old George Haruza and his parents, with only what they could carry in a suitcase, made a daring escape from behind the Iron Curtain of communism, risking their lives to secure the freedom and promise of America. George Haruza learned English, studied hard, and worked harder. Overcoming every hurdle in his way, George Haruza is now a world-renowned surgeon, educator, and physician leader. George Haruza earned a reputation for getting difficult things done in his own life, medicine, and business. Now, George Haruza will bring that results-based record to the state Senate for greater transparency to improve our schools and healthcare, to find solutions to protect our families from rising crime, to bring back high-paying jobs, and to implement policies to reduce runaway gas and grocery prices. George Haruza for State Senate, a record of getting good things done.
Paid for by Haruza from Missouri.
The Musial Awards return to Stiefel Theater this fall. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event Saturday, November 19th. Named for Stan the Man, the awards celebrate those who embody extraordinary sportsmanship. Come walk the red carpet and experience the most inspiring night in sports. It's a show you don't want to miss and a perfect way to kick off the holiday season. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University, Saturday, November 19th. Tickets at musialawards.com.
This month's Zero Res special. The more you clean, the more you save. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129 or 5 rooms starting at $199. A 43% savings. Take $75 off any air duct cleaning package. Call 314-474-2020 or go to ZeroResSTL.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
For all your communication needs, check out the Center for Hearing and Speech. Call today, 314-968-4710 or chsstl.org.
Clement Auto Group is hosting another trunk or treat for the kiddos.
We're inviting all the listeners to bring their kids, the dogs, and trunk or treat with us on Saturday, October 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m.
Music, game, prizes, and most of all,
lots of candy for your kids.
Come out Saturday, October 22nd to Clement Pre-Owned in Florissant.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. This is the show. The show continues on KMOX.
All right, so capping off that story we had about the Garth Brooks concert down in Branson, we got a texter who was there, Ron. So you asked, and the KMOX listening audience delivered. 314 said, I was at the Garth Brooks concert, got there at 3 for a 7 o'clock show, so getting in wasn't an issue. Also had on-site parking, so didn't have to shuttle. Got in the car to leave at 10:30. The car didn't move until 1:30 in the morning.
Absolutely gross.
Hours just
Gross.
sitting there. Dude, I am so sorry. That sounds like every level of hell all in one.
Also, Big Blonde Dan said I was going to go, but then realized I don't like country music. That's not nice.
Meanie.
Come on, Dan.
The federal government is hiring 87,000 new IRS enforcement agents. Make no mistake, with spending out of control, they're looking to collect revenue. The first target will be you. If you have not paid your taxes or filed them in years, let me help you get that target off your back. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. So if you have unfiled returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews on behalf of Beast Plumbing. We want to educate you on what a hose bib is. A hose bib is the small faucet attachment on the outer wall of your home that facilitates access to water in your backyard or your driveway or maybe outside of your business. Well, Beast Plumbing has a special in the month of October. The deal is $25 off replacement of the hose bib if you're seeing issues with yours. Maybe it's leaking, something's wrong with it, the handle's broke, or $50 off the new hose bib that they can install for you. Beast Plumbing does small jobs and they do large jobs, commercial or residential. Call on Beast Plumbing. You should have Beast Plumbing's contact information in your phone, so in the event of a plumbing emergency or you want to take advantage of this deal, you can get a hold of them. I'm going to give you their brand new number you can call in just a moment. But again, it's $25 off replacement hose bibs and $50 off new hose bibs from Beast Plumbing. That's BEIS plumbing.com, or call them at 314-500-LEAK. Again, the new number, 314-500-LEAK. Tell them Bo sent you to Beast Plumbing.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. For about 25 years, I've been a patient at Ophthalmology Associates, the home of the doctor's doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. Also, my wife and kids and sister are also patients there for their eye care. After all, these doctors have 3 convenient locations, an excellent, experienced staff, the latest technology, and a modern optical department on location. They're also available for emergency calls. And did you know these doctors treat more doctors than any other practice in St. Louis? They spend a lot of time with their patients. They don't rush you in and out. When you meet them, you immediately realize they care about you and your eyesight, and they're extremely knowledgeable about eye care, and they can answer all your questions. That's why I go to and recommend Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000, yourEyeDoc.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, it's sunny and 73 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Our top story this hour, a sentence is handed down for the man convicted of killing a retired police captain outside a pawn shop. KMOX's Kevin Killeen at the courthouse.
There was heavy security in the courtroom as Stephen Cannon faced judgment, life without parole. 9 sheriff's deputies around him. Cannon told the courtroom, "I'm sorry for what happened to the victim's family," but he insisted he is not the shooter. Afterwards, survivors of David Dorn say they don't think that's the case, that the evidence was conclusive that he was the killer who took the life of retired police captain David Dorn outside Lee's pawn shop during a night of widespread rioting and looting in June of 2020. At the courthouse, Kevin Killeen, KMOX News.
St. Louis police say they will be out in force this weekend with the Cardinals and Blues back in action.
Captain Pierre Benoit says the police bike unit arrested a suspect wanted for several car clottings downtown.
Keenan Deal, who is currently being held without bond on numerous car break-ins. He's has a history of breaking in several cars in the downtown west area.
Benoit says this arrest will aid in preventing some of the car clottings, but adds people should not leave weapons in their cars because that's what the thieves are looking for. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
CBS News special report, success at the Kennedy Space Center.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mission. Engines full power. And
Launch about a half hour ago of a SpaceX rocket with a crew of 4 bound for the space station. CBS's Peter King on hand as it happens.
It's cleared the pad and then some. That bright orange-yellow flame from those 9 Merlin engines looking beautiful as it heads straight up through a cloud and comes out of that cloud in full view.
The first Native American woman to fly in space is on board. So is the first Russian cosmonaut to leave from U.S. soil in 2 decades. The crew is due to arrive at the station tomorrow, 29 hours after liftoff. Won't be back on Earth till March. This crew replacing a U.S.-Italian crew that arrived in April. CBS News Special Report. I'm Steve Kathan.
Now, the latest from Missouri's capital.
Governor Mike Parsons signed into law today what's being called the largest income tax cut in Missouri history. Parsons says the tax cuts mean more money for Missourians to spend, invest, and save. He also signed into law a bill that extends agriculture tax credits for at least 6 years. Missouri Task Force 1 is in Fort Myers Beach, commonly called Ground Zero, after Hurricane Ian rolled through a week ago. Assistant Chief at Boone County Fire, Gail Blomenkamp.
And unfortunately, they did find one human remains with the human remains detection canine, and so they were able to recover one body, unfortunately, that did not survive the hurricane.
The team searched over 570 different structures and piles of debris where they found the body yesterday. The First Mid Bank and Trust business desk, the oil exporting countries and OPEC Plus have decided to cut production by 2 million barrels a day. That will likely put upward pressure on prices at the pump.
I'm Stephen Portnoy. The White House says in a statement that President Biden is disappointed by the move, calling the decision by the oil cartel to cut production short-sighted, particularly while the global market continues to suffer from the effects of Russia's war on Ukraine. Aides say in response to the OPEC cut, Mr. Biden has decided to release another 10 million barrels from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve next month.
The Dow from Stifel's down 109 points. Crash on I-170 south past Page has the right lane closed. 44 east before 270 in the left lane. 70 east past Adelaide, the right lane closed. 270 east at Bell Fountain on the right shoulder.
It's going to feel like late summer this afternoon when the high near 80. We'll be in the mid to upper 50s tonight, back up into the lowest 80s tomorrow. Then a drastic cool shot for Friday, low to mid 60s with a breeze and some sun. Then mid-60s Saturday, mid-70s Sunday. It gets nice for the weekend. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Steve DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sunny skies, 74 in Florissant, 75 St. Peter's, 73 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This report brought to you by the VA St. Louis Healthcare System. Support comes from the VA St. Louis Healthcare System, offering world-class care to all enrolled veterans. If you think you're at risk for monkeypox, vaccines are available. Contact your primary care provider through MyHealthVet. The St. Louis VA Healthcare for Heroes.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
All right, 12:05 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores. Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy should really watch the clock.
She just took another sandwich bite.
It fell right into a bite.
Yeah,
It
you know what? That's
fell on
weird.
the
That
chair.
fell into my mouth and I started chewing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, a few things that we've hit on today. This is kind of where we get over some of the top stories of the day. We just had Thane Rosenbaum on, and he talked a bit about all the things we're expecting from the Supreme Court in this session. We started with a little bit on the Cardinals now that we know that they're playing the Phillies. And can I just say,
yes,
official request, please?
Yes.
Can MLB just announce the start times for Friday already? We know who the teams are. It was done last night. What are we waiting for?
Oh, there's got to be some kind of stupid selection show where they have to make a big announcement and we all have to watch it. It'll probably take an hour, even though there are only 4 games. They'll probably give us game times every 15 minutes. There are only 4 games. They'll be like, all
One
right,
at a time.
Like, come on, MLB.
All right, here's
People
the
have to
start
make
time
plans.
for the noon Eastern. Let's break this series down for 15 minutes, and then we'll tell you about
That's
the next one.
exactly what they're going to do.
Have they done this before?
They do selection show type stuff when it comes to like
right.
Gold Glove
Sure.
or
just announce
whatever.
it, man.
But with game times, I don't remember it being this fraught of a wait.
I don't know.
What's the delay? I mean,
I don't know.
Again, as of what? 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. Central Time last night. We knew what the matchups were. There's nothing else to be decided.
Nobody's going to watch your dumb
Just
show.
slot them in so we know what time the games are on Friday.
So people who travel, like especially people who travel or have to call off work, have to make work plans. Maybe you have meetings or something, and you're like, I can schedule meetings around game time, and the game time could be during the day. And there's a very good likelihood the Cardinals are going to play in the middle of the day, or the Cleveland Guardians are going to play in the middle of the day. We don't have to worry about them. But there are people around the country who do have to make plans. So let's go, MLB. Knock this off.
Huh. Funny.
What? Did you find something out?
No, I'm just like, I think we might soon. Probably because we complained about it. Like they
Why?
might actually?
Why you're being very ambiguous
Well,
right now.
I saw a thing and I'm not sure if it's a thing or
Oh,
not.
I see it right now, too.
There we go.
As we're complaining about it,
Yes.
wild card times have been announced.
Whoa.
Look at that. See the power that we have on the show?
That's
Game
what you
of-
call
Here's what you
good
care
radio.
about. Game 1, Philadelphia at St. Louis.
Yes.
First pitch, 1:07 p.m. First pitch, 1:07. And you can listen to it on KMOX.
And you can listen to us before the show.
That's right.
Not the show, before the game. We
the
are
show
the show.
is going to be on, and I believe we're going to be on from Cardinals Nation.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah, you and me, because Kevin's not going to be here.
I am going to Chicago. It's my wife's 50th birthday. We're going to celebrate with all of our friends and her family that live up there.
Well, happy birthday to Susan.
Yes.
Oh.
That's very exciting.
Also,
Yes.
let me follow up. Game 2 on Saturday will be at 7:37 p.m.
There you go.
So games 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
1:07 on Friday, 7:37 p.m. on Saturday, and then if there is a game on Sunday, that will also be at 7:37 p.m.
Well, guess what, guys? I am going to the game on Friday.
Hey, me too.
Oh, wow.
I'm not.
Because you'll be in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, though. I mean, like, I like MLB. They're like, all you had to do was ask, guys. As soon as we ask, here you go.
But we got to complain about it for another couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
No, I'd rather not. I would rather just set it out last night. But
All right.
I mean, just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Ryan-
thanks. Better late than never.
So we got that. We hit on the whole thing where everybody's liking to do the scare tactics in politics. Like, did you see the candidate for governor in Minnesota
Oh, yes,
boy.
I did.
repeating the now debunked story? I mean, like, it's been debunked, I don't know, 50 times that apparently there are schools that are putting litter boxes in there so as the kids that identify as furries have a place to go.
It's
Like
not
that,
true.
a candidate for governor either believes that or doesn't care and hopes you believe it so he can scare you into voting for him.
Yeah, well,
What are we doing?
We just see, again, the grievance politics, the negative partisanship, where you can gain a lot of traction, catch a lot of headlines, and rally quite a bit of support if you can both posit the other side as being an existential threat to all the values we hold dear as Americans. And also, if you can play the victim, whether from the media or your opponent, and say that attacks are unfair, your supporters will rally for you exponentially. You can gain loyalty, fervent loyalty, if you are quote unquote a victim.
Yeah. And I would also, I mean, like, I'm being somewhat facetious here, but this should be disqualifying because you're either blatantly lying or you just never took the time to look, which as somebody running for an important position, you should absolutely do. So if this were a thing, you should be able to tell us all which school it happened at, when it happened, and who reported it, and what was done about it. You should be able to tell us those three pieces of information: where, when, and what happened.
And I will say again, and we went back to this with DeSantis, how he was using a broad brush stroke to condemn the quote national regime media, which we've pretty much established that you don't use the word regime in a positive way 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, usually.
You don't go, oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite freedom-loving regimes. You don't talk about regimes usually very positively. But here's why that type of exaggeration, that broad brushstroke, is so dangerous, because they take something that either an isolated incident, which some people call nut picking because you're picking the craziest incident or the worst offense, and then you're holding it up for all to see, and you declare this is illustrative of everyone who votes blue or everyone who votes red. And to Ron DeSantis's point, there was a 60-minute special on him a while ago that really portrayed him unfairly. I mean, the bias was clear. When that happened, I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to kickstart Ron DeSantis's national spotlight, because he could play the victim, and there was an element of truth to it.
Yeah.
Again, The Atlantic, which has some rather conservative writers and some progressive writers, The Atlantic, you never know what you're going to get with The Atlantic. There was a story at the beginning of the pandemic titled Georgia's Experiment in Human Sacrifice, and it just went after the coronavirus policies that were taking place in Georgia. Of course, now we see that there was a few bad policies in New York as well, but it was a hyper focus on Brian Kemp in Georgia. And again, you could say that, yeah, that article was biased. That was not a good article. But to hold it up and say this is how all journalists write, that is just not true. And so when you bastardize the truth, it's very dangerous, because you can find an example, an isolated incident or a couple, but then it gives, you extrapolate and it gives people who are loyal to you, like I said, psychological permission to then discredit everyone who disagrees with you.
But also, I mean, that does happen. And there are legitimate examples that you should criticize individually, which is what, if we're being honest and having honest discourse, that's what we would do, instead of painting the broad brush strokes like we end up doing. On top of that, though, to suggest the media or any outlet, I can't imagine one outlet or a group of people that wanted Tampa Bay to get destroyed. They wanted Tampa, the city of Tampa.
Because Ron DeSantis was
implying that what DeSantis did in that interview with that website in Florida, what he implied was that the media, for some reason, wanted the hurricane to roll through Tampa and devastate Tampa.
Because it would be a great,
I don't know why. I guess to prove a point.
What's interesting is,
I'm not sure what he said, but nobody wants that.
Yeah, and
it also minimizes what happened in Fort Myers.
That's what I was going to say. He was acting like as if it would be a even bigger disaster, and I guess because there are more people in Tampa, right? It's a bigger metropolitan area, but to minimize what happened in Fort Myers as if that is not in it itself a disaster. It's a shame, because what it does is it precludes serious discussion.
Yes,
because
it does.
You can't have meaningful distinctions. If you can't look at a situation and remove a partisan lens, then you are not truly looking at the situation.
And then we can't solve any problems for real. And isn't the goal to solve some actual problems?
Well, if you don't have problems, you don't have things to make people angry about, so they vote for you.
Ah, dang it.
Answer man.
Forgot about that.
Yes, I Googled that.
Whoops.
In other news, I did just find out a study poll reveals what we already knew, and that is that Chick-fil-A has the fastest drive-through and also was voted the friendliest workers of drive-thrus. I don't think we needed a study for that.
No, they do.
Yeah.
You walk up and I pull up the one by my house, and the line is 74 cars, and you're through in 4 minutes.
Should have let the Chick-fil-A people at the Branson music venue. Let them usher the people in.
The Chick-fil-A theater, they'll get that thing through quick.
Oh, yeah.
I just solved the problem.
No concerts on Sundays.
Feeding America is working with local food banks in Florida to assist those affected by Hurricane Ian. To support Feeding America, make a donation at feedingamerica.org. A message from the caring voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's simple math. Rising prices equals tighter family budgets. I'm Katie Stewart. I'm a mom and a math teacher. In Springfield, I cut grocery taxes, froze gas taxes, and delivered income tax credits for working families. I helped pass measures to crack down on price gouging by drug companies to lower healthcare costs. I'm investing in vocational training to train workers for high-paying jobs like welders and carpenters that pay $35 or more an hour. I'm Katie Stewart. My opponent, Jennifer Cordy, has said victims of rape who choose to have an abortion will regret it later. Cordy is for a total ban on choice in Illinois. I'll protect a woman's right to choose, no matter what happens in Washington. It's why Planned Parenthood supports me. I'm Katie Stewart, candidate for state representative. I'm not a politician. I follow numbers, and our community is always first. Paid for by Friends for Katie Stewart.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
Ask yourself, what am I doing to guarantee I will have adequate inflation-hedged income that I may never outlive? Why not make sure your future income is growing and may last as long as you do? Call for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233. And also join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I want to tell you about Bill Kaufman and his team at Banner Construction. Since 1993, my friends at Banner Construction have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. You know, that's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to call the experts at Banner Construction. They're ready to help. If you're looking for windows, you should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner's also a Platinum-certified Pella window contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. One of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner Homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. Banner has helped us 6 times on 2 different homes. 569-1050 and bannerconstruction.com.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
The power of timeliness.
We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
Hey friends, Matzo Matt here for Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizza, and it's time to celebrate. October is National Pizza Month, so let's cheer the cheese, toast the toppings, and do a little dance for the deliciousness of Brewpub Pizza. At Brewpub, we get it. You're looking for a high-quality premium pizza that's literally an eating extravaganza, not some bland, skimpy, circular concoction that resembles a frozen pizza. Brewpub pizzas are loaded with toppings in every bite, accompanied by the best award-winning mozzarella cheese from Scani. Snag a Brewpub pizza at your local grocery store today.
Live and local. This is St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
All right, it's 12:22 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Guys, I love America.
Yeah, I think we all do.
You know,
I'm really
everybody.
glad to hear that.
Everybody in this room loves America,
I have a
except
feeling-
maybe
like,
Dave.
I believe
What?
that if I didn't, I wouldn't live here.
Yeah, well, yeah, but although
you're
it's just
here.
it's very difficult to relocate.
Yeah, but not that difficult if I hated it.
I love
Are you
America. It's
lazy?
expensive.
Lazy? No. You could
Maybe
easily
you're
do it.
afraid of boats.
Small boats next to big boats.
Yeah, that's how in Ramji's mind, people are still going to different countries just by boat,
Seems efficient.
like the Pilgrims.
So, and it's sailboat, if anything. I also love our national anthem.
Yeah.
But one thing, and I'm sorry to admit, I love when people have an uncomfortable national anthem
That's
performance
Awful. And you would
It's-
because you're Professor Chaos.
because it's a song everybody knows the words to.
Yeah.
You should by now know how to sing it, even though it's kind of difficult to sing it. The
Very.
tune is difficult to sing. You know, there's the highs and the lows. It's just hard, right? But I always find, I'm sorry, but I find it amusing when people have trouble with the national anthem. And I'm going to give you a bit of what I heard last night in Cincinnati prior to a Reds game.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
Uh-oh.
for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
No.
I am so sorry. But that's really bad. That beginning, I thought I heard that. I'm like, that.
Maybe that person was nervous though.
Well,
but if you-
you wouldn't be in front of a crowd
singing it.
No, because sometimes they pick people from churches or from a community group, and then they get this opportunity to sing.
Do you think that's all that's going to Reds games now is community groups?
You actually might be right. They might have
serious.
they might have just pulled some poor guy off the street. Like, dude, we need somebody.
No, no. I would be nervous, and you're.
But you're not a performer. Like, these people are performers that are doing
This person thinks they can sing. Because if
the
you don't
person
think
was
you can sing, you're not going to agree to do the national anthem because
Correct.
nobody has asked you to do this.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
I will say,
Close enough.
It was a good recovery. The person recovered because you could tell it was
awesome.
going way off, and then
Pulled it back
pulled
in.
it right back in. You're a horrible human.
I mean,
Sorry.
There's the only one that I've heard worse than that.
Carl
where
Lewis.
Someone's trying, right? Because Roseanne wasn't trying.
No, she was trying to be funny.
Right. She was trying to be a jerk to be funny. Carl Lewis was my favorite, though, because in the middle of it, he goes, uh-oh.
I don't think I've heard that.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh,
He's singing and he's trying, and like this is back when like Charles Barkley was still playing, and Barkley, they're showing the bench and the players are all laughing. They've got tears rolling down their face, and then Carl Lewis's voice cracks. He's like, hey, and he goes, uh-oh. Which is why I did that during that break.
Oh God.
Oh,
I'm
no.
that's
I feel so bad.
4.
I don't know.
Her.
Oh, say
Her?
does that
Him?
Star Spangled Banner yet wave?
I feel bad for him. I feel
like
bad
he
for.
was going into monk mode there for a minute.
I like the.
It was a good recovery.
I feel bad for America. That's who I feel bad for.
Man.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
look, if we can make fun of people with terrible first pitches, we can make fun of people with terrible national anthems.
Terrible pitch.
So much.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
do
sorry.
that.
I apologize.
We really should have played Carl Lewis too, though. I didn't think of that. I should have grabbed that. That's funny.
Yeah.
What's funny is just but you got to see the video of it, like all the players trying to hide their laughter and trying not to lose it. Charles Barkley's in tears. Uh-oh.
At least he knew it was going
Oh.
south.
Oh, the poor guy.
Uh-oh.
Hey, listen, he was great at one thing. Actually, he was great at a lot of things in track and field. It's okay if you're not good at singing.
Did he sing it all? I don't even know why he was singing it in the first place.
Great point. Hey, we got Mike Claiborne coming up next. We'll talk about Cardinals Phillies with the playoffs starting up on Friday.
Who's Talking Sports weeknights at 6 on KMOX.
My name's Matt Pauley.
Matt Pauley gets you inside the Cardinals.
Maybe these games mean something. Maybe the lack of offense means something, or maybe it's just this team played their games that mattered in August. They won the division during that run.
Has great guests.
Love the show. Really excited to be on. I'm really looking forward to talking some St. Louis sports.
Matt Pauley, the Meyer Jensen Sports Open Line. Weeknights at 6, non-Cardinal game nights on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
This time of year, you might notice that the brick in your patio is going astray. Call Morelli. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan for Morelli Tuck Pointing, which has won every award possible in this industry, including the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to companies with exceptional customer service. Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis and beyond for 31 years. Morelli can do completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches, patios, caulking, waterproofing solutions, and much more. Family owned and operated, and a lot of longtime employees that are like family. Call and request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387 or online at MorelliTuckPointing.com. And don't forget to check out their great reviews on the Google and Better Business Bureau websites. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
You had a solid retirement dream, sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
At 12:30, it's sunny and 74 degrees downtown at the Arch. The man convicted of killing retired St. Louis Police Captain David Dorn in 2020 was sentenced to life in prison today. 26-year-old Stephen Cannon was convicted of first-degree murder, robbery, and other counts in the death of the 77-year-old Dorn, which happened as Dorn was trying to stop looters at a pawn shop during protests. The SpaceX Crew Dragon Endurance is on its way to the International Space Station after a picture-perfect launch from the Kennedy Space Center. Japanese astronaut Koichi Wakata was thrilled to be back in space for the 5th time.
You know, it was a smooth ride, and I see all the 3 happy faces here back in Zero G, and I appreciate all the help to give us a smooth ride and training. And thank you so much.
They'll dock with the station tomorrow night at about 7:15 Central Time. KMOX Sports. Today is Albert Pujols Day in the city of St. Louis, as proclaimed by Mayor Tashara Jones. His manager, Oliver Marmol, told KMOX's Total Information AM that the retiring slugger still has magic left in his bat.
This guy's in a really good spot. His swing feels good, his approach, everything about it. So we look forward to what that looks like in the playoffs.
KMOX traffic, debris on 70 West past Hanley in the right lane, debris 270 South at 44. There's a crash on 170 South past Page, the right lane closed. Just all 270 North at 44, right shoulder. And the weather is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon with a high of 80, clear to partly cloudy overnight, the low 57. For tomorrow, sunny and warm with a high of 81. Penn Mutual believes that life insurance is the central part of a sound financial plan and that it can make an enduring impact for generations to come. Talk to your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. Penn Mutual, trusted for life. Sunny and 74 downtown at the Arch right now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Yes, with inflation, interest rate increases, and a possible recession looming, we are no doubt facing uncertain times in the housing market. But as a realtor with over 20 years of experience, I can tell you, if you're thinking of selling your home, now more than ever, you need a realtor to help you through these times while saving you money. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and we offer all of this for only 4%. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. It's time for our Columbus Day sale, so come on down to Edwards and discover some awesome savings. Ask to see our specials. These are items with limited quantities marked down to move quickly. Carpet and luxury vinyl plank at low sale prices and get 12 months interest-free financing. We're booking installation into November now, so hurry in and make your house beautiful for the holidays. See you soon at either of our locations in Ellisville and De Pere.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
You know the Midwest Money slogan, isn't cash in the bank better than scrap in the drawer? This is Johnny Rabbit. Midwest Money, the oldest coin shop in St. Louis. Buying, selling, and trading since 1971. Silver and gold, coins, sterling silver, flags, medals, daggers, and more. Not sure what you have? Bring your collectibles to someone you can trust. Midwest Money at the corner of Hampton and Holly Hills. You'll be happy you did.
Now the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX. Sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you. Tomorrow night.
Whoa!
Oh, whoa.
Loud
What was that?
noises! I don't know. What happened? Whoa!
I think we're okay. Are we okay?
We're back. It is the Redbird Report. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, of course, Kevin Wheeler, joined by our good friend Mike Claiborne. And Claibs, before we dive into Cardinals and Phillies starting at 1 o'clock on Friday and the series and all of that, Ranj actually has a golf question for you that we think you might be able to help us out with.
You're into golf,
do my
right?
best.
Yeah, you're into golf, yeah?
Yes, I am.
I have on right now a pair of PGA Tour shorts that I bought. I got like 2 or 3 pairs of these shorts. And I have discovered that these shorts, Claibs, have holes in the pockets that like I can reach all the way through to my unders. And all the pairs of these shorts have it. And it's about the size. It's a little bit bigger than like what a golf ball would be, right? But I can't imagine why you'd want a golf ball to go through the hole. What's the purpose of the holes in these shorts?
Well, I think they probably want
probably do it to separate the golf balls from maybe your phone or your keys or whatever you may else put in your pocket where they don't, mix up.
Well, if I put the golf ball in the hole, it's going to fall through my pants. Like it's going to fall into the ground. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so it sounds like you have some defective pants. Then.
Well, I have 3 pairs of these defective pants.
Well, you hopefully you bought them all at the same time and weren't going back and get them.
I did.
Were they on clearance, Runch?
I don't know. I got them online.
Oh, you got them online. There
got
you
them
go.
online.
There you go.
I think Amazon.
Sounds like it's defective.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no purpose.
I did some Googling, and according to the Google, these are called cheater pants.
That's what our leader here, Becky, told me.
They're called cheater pants because when you want to cheat, apparently you just slide a new golf ball through there and nobody sees you drop a new one when you lost your other one.
Yeah.
So Ranji's a cheater.
That makes sense. Well, yeah, we're learning more and more about Chris each day.
That's right.
That's another thing we need
That's
to
right.
be careful of.
Yeah, got to be very careful of me because I will win at every cost.
That's apparent.
All right, so
it would probably help if you were a good golfer. I don't know.
Oh,
how
no, I
good of
can't
a
do
golfer
that.
you
That's
are, but
see, that's the problem, Claves. I need to learn that first.
Got to learn how to play.
Yeah.
well, at least you know how to cheat.
There you go. You got a new. You got that going into the process when you start. All right, so we partially solved that. Got a part of an answer on that, Claves. We finally got the start time for Friday. That happened a little bit ago. Major League Baseball announcing that the Cardinals and the Phillies get going just after 1:00 on Friday. What do you make of the matchup with Philly?
Well, it's going to be a good one. Philadelphia matches up well with the Cardinals. When you look at both teams offensively, they're about the same. Philadelphia strikes out a little bit more. Cardinals walk a little bit more. They've got some interesting hitters in their lineup. When you think about a guy who's hit 46 home runs, who's barely hitting 230, he strikes out. He's going to strike out 200 times this year if they play him today. But you know what? It's going to be a fun series. I like the matchup. We haven't seen him in a while, so they now have Bryce Harper in the lineup, and he's a very good player. But overall, I like the Cardinals' chances. I think the bigger issue for the Cardinals is who's going to be on your roster.
Yeah.
And Oliver Marmol is going to have a very tough conversation with a player or two that we've been used to seeing in the lineup because, either they're not healthy enough or they're not living up to the expectations we're going to need in order to be able to win a series.
So how do you see the rotation and that pitching staff? Who do you think is in and who's out? Who's starting games?
Well, if it's me, I probably start with Michaelis, come back with Quintana. And that third outing might be a combination of Jordan Montgomery and Jack Flaherty. It just depending. Both of those guys probably warrant more pitching time. So I would probably come back with those guys because the key here is your bullpen is going to be on stage, okay? Because somebody's going to have to pitch 2 days in a row.
Maybe 3, right?
Yeah, you're right. So if you can cut that down a little bit with maybe 2 legitimate starters in Flaherty and Montgomery, maybe that gives you a little bit more of a weapon as far as not having to use your bullpen as much. But, this is, every run counts. If anybody gets in trouble, I don't know if Ollie is going to have a short hook or not. I would think so because you can't let these games get away.
Yeah, that was my question too, Claves, is, I don't, the Cardinals aren't going to go with what you would think of as the traditional opener, the way the Rays have done it over the years. But I almost wonder if they're not just looking at, each game and looking at it maybe 3 inning segments and saying, all right, we're going to try to get ahead here early. If a guy's rolling, maybe we leave him alone. But if there's any struggle at all, we've got all these guys. I mean, you're going to have 9 guys in the bullpen at the least, 9 or 10, depending on how they want to put together the roster. There should be really no hesitation to change things up, right?
No, I agree with you, Kevin. I think when you look at how this thing is set up, maybe he goes through the order once, maybe twice. But if he gives up more than a run, maybe 2 runs, then you're probably going to see someone else.
It's interesting when you look at Philly's lineup too, Claves, that that they have they do have some platoon splits or some platoon possibilities there. Like Brandon Marsh may not play against a lefty, and he's typically batting at the bottom of the order anyway. But at the top of their order, they like to go Schwarber, Hoskins, Harper, And then it looks like Real Muto, Alec Boehm, and Nick Castellanos. So there are a lot of good hitters in there, but you got two of your prominent lefties in the top three, followed by righties. It looks like a lineup you could play some matchups with.
Oh, there's no question about that. And when you look at some of those guys you just mentioned, there's a lot of strikeouts in that group you're talking about. And this is going to be important. Strikeouts, there's no productive way to look at a strikeout. It's not a plus. And as I mentioned, Kyle Schwarber is their leadoff man, and he's 200 strikeouts. I mean, that's a lot. And when you get into these close matchups, you might be in a better position where these guys will get themselves out more than you can get them out. So it will be something that we'll all have to pay closer attention to. This is where swing and miss stuff comes into play. Flaherty has it. Montgomery can show it as well, and so does Miles Michaelis. Quintana is just a guy who's, as we call, the crafty veteran left-hander, but he's been very effective this year. So when you look at all of that, you like the Cardinals' chances. Philadelphia has some good pitching as well. The records may not indicate it, but Nola is a pretty good pitcher, and he's going to be a handful. And the fact that we haven't seen each other in some time, you just don't know who's a hot guy. Well, they know who the hot guy is now, but, they're going to be looking at this from pitch to pitch, not at bat to at bat.
Claves, we talk so much about the experience and veteran leadership on the Cardinals, but going over to the Phillies, they're ending an 11-year playoff drought. And I believe of their everyday starters, only Harper, Schwarber, and Castellanos have playoff experience. How much does that matter?
I think it matters a lot, especially when you look at guys who haven't been there before. The organization hasn't been there in a while. And the same can be said for the Cardinals as far as their bullpen is concerned. They don't have a lot of ring experience out in that bullpen, which is where maybe Adam Wainwright moves to the bullpen because if you haven't gone through it, it's a pretty tough way to learn on the job when it comes to postseason, especially in this wild card situation because, losing the first game really puts you back to the wall. So you have to win 2 in a row. And in postseason, winning 2 in a row is always a challenge.
And right now, Claves, this is the time because they've had their division locked up for a while, even if it mathematically wasn't. We knew they were going to win this thing and that there wasn't going to be moving off of the third seed, really. So as they've had this opportunity to rest up and get as healthy as possible, do you think they're in pretty good shape?
Yeah, I think so. I think they are. With the exception of Tyler O'Neill, we'll find out a little bit more about Jordan Hicks hopefully today. But overall, everybody's got an ache and a pain and an ouchie or a boo-boo or whatever you want to call it. But that's what you do at this time of the year. You learn how to play through it. This is about survival. So every team's got an issue somewhere, someplace. So there won't be any pity parties for that.
So when we're kind of figuring out how they're going to do this, and there are a lot of options that Ollie Marmol has at his disposal with how he wants to play matchups, both on the offensive side and on the pitching side. Claves, do we end up coming down to maybe the most simple things here? And that is you're going to need your best players to be your best players. I know that's a Ken Hitchcock thing, but if Goldschmidt and Arenado are Goldschmidt and Arenado, you should be competitive. You should be fine. You should be able to move on. If they're not, I have a feeling that's going to be a problem.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I think that can be said for every team. If your big guys don't step up, you're now asking guys, and we can look at the Cardinals, you're asking other guys who haven't been there before to step up. And maybe they can. Maybe they buy you some time from one game to another. But overall, we're going to need a contribution from Arenado and Goldschmidt and Pujols and Brendan Donovan and Tommy Edman. The regulars are going to have to find a way to make a contribution.
Yeah, I think along that line, when you look at championship teams, you can even probably draw this line across sports that there are certain truths about that team that have to exist. You have to be strong down the middle. Your big players have to be your big players. But generally, at least a couple of guys have to have career years in order for that team to win. Do you see that with this team?
Well, I don't know if they have to have career years. I think that they have to be consistent. And if they give us what we've seen during the season, I think they'll be okay. But I think overall, if you have a guy with a career year, hey, we'll take it. We'll certainly take it. But I think when it's all said and done, you have to be able to just do your job as Bill Belichick would say. And if you do that, you should be okay.
What's your favorite thing about the postseason, Mike?
The urgency, how these games, every pitch counts. You know, I think that's the thing. How do you deal with that sort of pressure and knowing every pitch counts? You know, you don't take an at bat off. You take every ground ball like it's the last one you'll ever take. And every pitch you throw, you have to have conviction with. Because if you don't, that's the pitch that normally gets hit in the seats. So I love the urgency of what postseason is all about.
Yeah, I'm right.
But I also love getting wet. I love getting wet with champagne. That's what I enjoy most, especially when it's the last game of postseason. This last game of postseason, mission accomplished, because there's going to only be one team that can do it.
You know, we bring up the urgency. I was just thinking about that. When you look at the different sports and their postseasons compared to their regular season, there is a huge shift with baseball. With football, there are so few games that every game feels relatively important. With baseball, you have so many games. You've got to take things in stride. You know it's a marathon, but then postseason certainly feels like a sprint.
Oh, it is a sprint. Trust me. And with each round, the sprint becomes even more intense. Again, this is about every pitch counts. Everything is magnified beyond belief as far as what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. And some guys will squeeze the bat a little tighter. Guys will hold on to a pitch a little longer. And it's the little things that are difference makers with regard to how you win and how you lose. And this is where experience comes into play. If you don't have guys with experience who've been there, who can make sure everybody can relax and just do their job, it's going to be tough to do. And that's the one neat thing about the Cardinals, where Yachty, Waino, those sort of guys, they've all been there, so they can really show these other guys, hey, just do what we've been doing and we'll be fine.
Clay, it's good to catch up with you, man, and we know it won't be possible Friday because of the start time, so we're glad we got a chance to get you into the mix here on a Wednesday in advance. In the meantime, you enjoy the game today, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week, man.
All right. Well, enjoy your wife's birthday in Chicago, and we'll keep it warm until you get back.
You do. And listen, by the way, if you can do something about making sure that there's still going to be baseball when I get back on Monday, that would be awesome.
I'm going to do my part, and I'm also going to find some ways for Ranji to get some golf lessons if he's going to wear the cheetah.
I am not paying for it.
Well, that's a parent. You would have got some shorts that have holes.
I got these shorts from Amazon.
I get you, man.
Oh, we did get a texter, Claves. Somebody texted into the show and says, this is from Driver Joe, they are to pull your shirt down so it stays tucked in. So you can pull your, the front of your shirt down instead of having to stuff your hands in your pants.
I don't believe that. Sorry, Driver
That's
Joe.
what he says.
Genius idea.
That's way more trouble because you're going to pull the shorts down when you pull down in there.
No, because you go into the little hole.
Yeah. I don't believe that.
Well,
I don't know.
Fake
news. I'm glad we got this squared away.
Thank you.
Thanks, Clay. We'll catch up with you soon, buddy.
You guys have a great day. Take care.
You got it. Mike Claiborne with us. His point about the difference, like we were talking about this pre-show, like in baseball, there are times during the year where you're going to play your B lineup. It's a getaway day. You want to give a couple guys 2 days off in a row, and you got an off day the next day. So you're playing to manage 162. You're not playing that every game is the same because they're not. You can't be that way for 6 months. But the playoffs are like that, though. The playoffs are you win. If you're ahead, you play to win this game and worry about tomorrow.
Basketball is probably like that, too.
Yes, very much.
NBA is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't think the NHL is. I think they play, like the games are played similarly. It's just the energy level in the playoffs is higher because of that urgency. But I don't think you say, well, we're going to play our B lineup today because we're going to do this. You might play your backup goalie, but that's about the only thing that'll change. And in baseball, sometimes we get the messages like, why are they putting this lineup out there? They're just giving this one away. Well, sometimes you have to risk one to save 3 down the road to make sure guys are getting the rest than you do. But the playoffs, all out the window. All right, stick around when we come back. What are we doing next? Are we doing the wedding advice? Or are we doing your...
No, I think I'm a big, dumb idiot, and you should know about it. You should know about the big, dumb...
This is outside of the shorts issue.
Yeah, this is the big, dumb, stupid idiot thing I did.
Okay, so Ranji did something really, really dumb
It's
yesterday,
stupid.
and he wants to tell us about it.
Yeah.
We will judge coming up.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri. We're for kayakers, trail hikers, wine tasters, cave divers, grocery baggers, car dealers, and the man who plays saxophone outside the coffee shop. We're for the 100,000 fans that taught the nation how to tailgate, and the Division II national champion mules. We're for cowboys, hipsters, lead singers, and everyone else who likes to wear tight jeans. We're for the guy in a camo hat at a Nelly concert. We're for Rolla engineers and weekend volunteers. Armed service members, you bet we're for you. We're for teachers, preachers, students, and singers. We're for anyone who ends their address with a comma and a mo. We're for people who shake your hand and say hello, not because they know you, but because they don't. We're for contractors, road pavers, ticket takers, and horse trainers. We're for brewmasters, stockbrokers, beauty queens, and truck drivers. And if you're a fourth-generation soybean grower, don't worry. We're still for farmers, too. Whatever you do, if you're a Missourian, we're for you. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we've got Missouri covered.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit, and for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297. Or visit spark-stl.com.
It's the Sail On Tour 2022, starring Orleans, Firefall,
You are the woman that I've always dreamed of.
Peter Beckett, the voice of Player, John Ford Coley, Walter Egan, and the Babies with Sail On Tour 2022. Saturday, October 15th at the Family Arena. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.
The Marshall Tucker Band, the 50th anniversary tour. This Saturday night at 7, the Family Arena. The Marshall Tucker Band. With Pure Fairy League and Atlanta Rhythm Section. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House box office at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. The Marshall Tucker Band, the 50th anniversary tour.
Congress has authorized trillions in new spending, along with doubling the size of the IRS agency in just the last few months. Do you think that is by accident? No, it is with a purpose, to go after small businesses, employees, and individuals who have not filed or paid their taxes. If this is you, don't panic, just call. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Interest and penalties on your tax bill won't stop until you take control. Call me, Lance Drury. I'll tell you in advance an affordable fee, which includes costs and expenses that works for your business and family. Your first visit to the Lance Drury Law Firm is free and confidential, so you have nothing to lose. Call me today. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an attorney. You need us, the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120. Or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Center for Hearing and Speech empowers communication. To see how they can help you, call 314-968-4710 or go to chsstl.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. They're back.
Three best friends.
Right.
The three amigos.
Yeah. Kevin, Chris, and Amy. The show.
All right, back into the show. Ranji, Wheeler, Mark Scourge, the three of us. Ranja, what'd you do, dude?
Well,
what did you do yesterday?
Yeah, I'm a big dumb idiot. Okay, so for two,
we know that, but what's the story?
yeah, for two reasons. The first of all, the Cubs radio station in Chicago is an Odyssey station.
Correct,
I used to work
station.
there. Okay,
Yeah.
so occasionally they ask me to fill in because they're down to their last man, and that's me. So
everyone else is out.
That's
Raj.
right.
Are you
That's
free?
right. So occasionally I get subjected to Cubs pre and post game. All right. So I did that last night. Oh, don't worry, I get paid. So I did it
Maybe
last
not
night.
anymore.
Well, maybe not. I did the pregame show, did all the in-game stuff, everything, right? So at the end of the game, it's my duty to sign off and then promote the next game.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? So here's me when the post-game show is ending. Mike Esposito will take you home for the 2022 season along with Pat Hughes and Ron Santo. All right, guys. You may not be
Ron.
you may not know what just happened there. Let me clue you in. Ron Santo is dead. And
a long time ago.
And he's been dead for over 10 years. So I promoted the broadcast tomorrow.
Almost 12 years to be exact.
With Pat Hughes and Ron Santo, who is dead. And not only is he dead, but he's very well known.
Yes.
And is in the Hall of Fame now.
And was a super nice guy.
Super nice guy, but also is not calling the Cubs game today.
No.
But I said he was. I meant to say Ron Coomer.
Right. I was going to say it's partly the Cubs' fault for having a different Ron.
Yeah, it is their fault. You know what? I blame the Cubs. Yeah. So Ron saying, I am so dumb. And when it was over,
Do you even know what you just said?
like I didn't even know. I didn't even know I said it. They had to let me know. Oh God, I'm the worst.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
Hey there, it's Hancock and Kelly for First Mid-Bank and Trust, a local bank right here in St. Louis with over 157 years of experience and 19 locations across the greater St. Louis area.
Yeah, First Mid-Bank and Trust is perfect for small business owners. You need a partner that you can count on, and that is First Mid-Bank and Trust, and they're great for everybody, whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement. Check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
If you're trying to sell a home, there's only one agent in town that I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed. I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes, cowboy boots, running shoes, walking shoes, flat shoes, heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Mahotra. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 1 o'clock, it's sunny and 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. The Cardinals will face the Philadelphia Phillies in their best-of-3 wild card series, which begins Friday. Major League Baseball has released start times. Friday, Game 1, KMOX pregame at noon, first pitch at 1:07 Central. Saturday, Game 2, KMOX pregame 6:30, game at 7:37. Sunday, Game 3 will be early evening, but depends on which other series are still ongoing for the specific start time. And Dan McLaughlin will join the KMOX broadcast during the postseason. Sentencing day for a high-profile killing, the case of the retired police captain killed outside a pawn shop.
The convicted killer, Stephen Cannon, is sentenced to life without parole. He tells the victim's family, "I'm sorry for what happened to you, but I was not the shooter." Survivors of David Dorn on the courthouse steps afterwards say the evidence shows otherwise. He was the gunman who killed the retired police captain during a night of looting and rioting across the city. And they say the city has lost a wonderful person who used to nab shoplifters at the old famous bar and tell them, put back what you stole. You can do better with your life than that. At the courthouse, Kevin Killeen, KMOX News.
If you're coming downtown this weekend for the Cardinals or Blues, St. Louis police say leave your weapons at home.
While car break-ins were minimal over the weekend, Captain Pierre Benoist says Keenan Deal, believed to be responsible for several car collidings downtown, has been arrested.
So that was a great arrest, and hopefully, as we're all aware of, the car clottings, this will help in preventing some of them in the future.
Benoist says despite that arrest, though, there are still thieves breaking into cars looking for weapons. Keenan Deal is being held without bond. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
They found a body while searching the rubble left by Hurricane Ian in Fort Myers, Florida.
Spent the day yesterday on Fort Myers Beach, where they were able to search over 570 different homes and locations where they found a lot of destruction, a lot of homes that had been collapsed.
Missouri Task Force 1's Gail Blomenkamp says the dogs found the body of a storm victim who didn't make it. They continue their work today in one of the areas hardest hit by Ian. 3 astronauts and a cosmonaut are on their way to the International Space Station after a picture-perfect launch from Florida.
You couldn't have hoped for a more perfect day for launch or a more perfect ride to space.
We got 3 rookies that are pretty happy to be floating in space right now.
Dragon Commander Nicole Mann is one of those rookies and the first Native American woman to fly in space. This is also the first flight for Anna Kikina, who becomes the first Russian cosmonaut to fly aboard a U.S. spacecraft in 20 years. Navy Captain Josh Cassada is also a first-timer. Japan's Koichi Wakata is making his 5th flight, the second to the station. They arrive tomorrow night. Peter King, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk. Ahead of the Friday jobs report, there's a new study suggesting business expansion may be slowing. Jason Brooks has the reason why.
Ernst & Young reports IPO activity in the U.S. and around the world continued to plunge in the third quarter, with global IPO volume down 44% over the first 9 months of the year. Stock market volatility, soaring interest rates, and geopolitical tensions are getting blamed for the pullback in IPOs. The tech sector continues to see the highest number of IPO participants, but those companies are raising a lot less money, with the average tech deal size cut by more than half from a year ago to $123 million.
The Dow from Stifel's down 75 points to 30,240. And we've got a stall 44 west at 141 on the right shoulder, 64 east at Olive on the right shoulder. Weather sponsored by STL Windows Direct.
A very nice afternoon of weather, couple of degrees warmer, plenty of sunshine, 78 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a sprinkle, but tough to find. 55 a week. Very weak cool front coming by. Thursday, partly sunny, 79. Thursday night, a stronger cold front comes through. Partly cloudy, but nothing more than a sprinkle, 48. Friday's a chilly day, even with lots of sunshine, 59, 60. Shot of frost away from the city Friday night into Saturday morning as we go down to 36 degrees. Lots of sunshine and nice over the weekend. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sunny skies, 76 in Florissant, 77 St. Peter, 76 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Starting to feel the cold, crisp air seep in? Book your free consultation and save money on your energy bills with our Smart 365 energy efficient windows. Visit us at stlwindowsdirect.com.
STL Windows Direct. The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
I've turned off Amy's microphone permanently.
And pushed her across the room.
I did push her across the room.
Let me rephrase that.
Let's rephrase
pushed
it.
her chair.
Oh, yeah. I didn't shove her.
Her rolling chair got pushed 4 feet.
And I was in the chair.
Yeah,
so
and
that
you
she
slid with it.
rolled the chair.
Slowly.
Yeah.
This was not an assault.
Yeah, I did not assault.
This was a ride.
I did not assault.
Amy
I
went
don't.
for a ride. Just push back a little
She
bit.
did. She went on, you know what? She went on a nice ride.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because she insulted me during the break.
But you deserved it.
I didn't insult you. I said you are best from a distance.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That's not insulting.
I mean, not given what preceded it.
Oh, because like, so what? You know, people burp. Whatever. It happens. Everybody does it, Kevin.
I proudly do it.
But we did find out something before we get to the thing we're going to discuss here.
Sure.
They're very, very serious.
Yeah, the onion.
We had a conversation about Doritos and like tortilla chips. And Kevin is of the mindset they don't stink from a distance, and they very definitely do. Yeah, you can smell if somebody to walk in this room and open a bag of Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm 10 feet away, I'm going to smell it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really what I was saying.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said.
Talking about
I was talking about your
Dorito burps.
Like when you're 8 feet
gosh.
away, it's not going to be offensive. You're not going to be like, oh my God, and run away.
No,
now,
I
if you're
don't know.
like sitting next to each other, yes, that's
well, and we're sitting next to each other, which is why
you're like 5-6 feet apart.
the Wall Street Journal to get the air away, like a fan.
I
the
see.
air.
All right.
Anyway, this is horrible, disgusting radio.
Yeah, let's talk about the onion.
Let's do it.
Which is okay.
Which is funny because the onion came up. Which is very odd, onion.
The onion,
not an onion burp. No.
The Onion publication, the
website.
satire website,
The Onion is
which has been around forever.
Now part of a case that could be headed to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Which I found interesting. We brought it up with Thane Rosenbaum a little bit earlier, and here's what he said about. Well, we should set this up because what happened was, Ranj, that there was a guy in Ohio who was essentially mocking the local police
Mhm.
with a fake Facebook page, pretending that it was the Parma, Ohio Police Department. Apparently, that got him arrested.
Yeah.
And eventually, I guess what charges were dropped, right? So he didn't end up going to jail or anything for it. But he's sued since then, saying that they violated his rights, but he was just exercising his First Amendment right to free speech. And it was clearly parody. It was clearly satire. And you can't be arrested for satire. So that would be what ends up in front of the Supreme Court if the case is heard. And CBS legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum kind of expounded upon that idea of satire and whether or not this is something that is completely protected.
People are really sensitive now about, internet misinformation. There was an election that we're calling, that was meddling in the election through the internet. There are two cases coming up this term in the Supreme Court, one against Google and one against Google, Facebook, and Twitter. And these are brought by people who were harmed by Islamists and are bringing cases under the Anti-Terrorism Act and saying you've given platforms to mass murderers. You've allowed them to spread their messages and spread their bomb-making capabilities. And you should not have an immunity, right? So, that's the Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which was originally established to give immunity to internet companies to speed up the development of the information highway under the principle that they didn't care what the content was.
So again, the content there being the question, because what Thane makes a point of is that, yes, The Onion is clearly satire, right? But did people know that, was it readily obvious that this fake police page was satire? And also with a lot of people pushing back against disinformation, where is that line now? It's kind of what the case would be about if it ends up being heard.
Well, satire has been generally in our history protected. The United States, it has been. It isn't everywhere. Obviously, there have been cases of some really terrible things happening. And we talked about what happened in France, but that wasn't the attack on the newspaper there wasn't government sponsored. It was just a terrorist attack.
Right.
But here, I think we take satire and we have had it be part of our lives for a very long time, so it's accepted. And there are times that people get fooled by satire, thinking it's real. There are times Onion articles, and this has been happening for years, are mistaken for real news headlines.
But I would argue if you are mistaking Onion articles for real news headlines, you are not particularly sharp.
That's 100. Yes.
That the Onion is satire.
And that is the argument the Onion makes, is that parody, the way they do it, it's obvious. But if you don't understand that it's parody, that's kind of on you. Like you as the user, you as the consumer are supposed to know that it's parody, because parody is just so obviously crazy that it's, when you look at it, you see a headline and you know, okay, that's definitely not true. Like one of their recent headlines was about Kim Kardashian. And the headline was, Kardashian pays SEC fines by doing Instagram posts for the SEC. Like, that's not true.
Right.
That's not how she's going to pay those fines, because again, her Instagram posts are worth a lot of money. And that was the argument they were making, or the joke they were making. And I think what the Onion wants to do, I know what they want to do, is protect satire from any kind of lawsuits down the road.
And this should concern, no matter where you fall politically, for obvious reasons, right? The First Amendment here is key. But also the Onion, the more conservative counterpart to the Onion, is the Babylon Bee. And the Babylon Bee, the same thing. There are people who take their headlines seriously. I think at times Snopes and even CNN fact checked the Babylon Bee. It's clearly satire. They have a more conservative / religious bent. For example, one of their headlines, which is very inside baseball for Christianity, just, the religious side of it. Calvinists, I don't know if people know about predestination, but basically it said new Calvinist insurance company declares all conditions pre-existing because it's saying that everything's already been predetermined. It's funny. It's inside baseball. It's obviously satire.
That might be one of the best headlines they've done, actually.
That one's kind of funny. They also have Calvinist ice cream shop only has one predetermined flavor.
Interesting.
So it's kind of
but
funny.
I think that's the idea is shouldn't these outlets, even if I don't particularly think the Babylon Bee is, I don't think they execute humor all that well. Sometimes they do. Like, that was a pretty good headline.
That
but
one's
I don't
inside
think they,
baseball, but it's funny.
I don't know if they do it well all the time. They should still be protected, even if their jokes are bad or stupid. Like, it's clearly not real. But when you start to get to the point where maybe you're causing harm to people, like actual harm, and I don't know what that manifests like. I don't know if this police department was able to prove that caused any harm to anybody, and I don't think they did, which is why why those charges were dropped. But that's the point. If the Supreme Court moving forward is going to get more aggressive on things like this, on 230, like you heard Thane talking about, could satire outlets be in jeopardy of criminal charges or lawsuits? as a result of what the Supreme Court does moving forward. And that's where the fear is. And I think it's a legitimate fear, especially if you're a satire
you're
newspaper.
Also, though, like in this case, you are pretending to be an official part of the government. You're pretending to be a police department.
You're talking about this, you're not, just to clarify for people, you're
Not
not
the
talking
Onion.
about the Onion or
No,
the
no, no,
Babylon
no.
Bee.
This
The
You're
guy who did
talking
the
about
Facebook
guy.
page.
Yes.
And I'm not saying I agree with you guys, by the way. I think satire should absolutely be protected, but you do have to be careful because sometimes people will do things seriously trying to disrupt things and then just be like, I was just kidding.
Yeah.
I was just having fun. Can't you tell? And I think that we got to be careful with. So if this guy was running the site that was pretending to be the Parma, Ohio Police Department, what was he putting on there? Was it blatantly obvious silliness?
He was,
or was it something that people could misconstrue and say, wait a minute, what? And could it cause a disruption in services?
So he posted a bunch of stories within about a 12-hour period that made it seem like the police department was racist.
See, and
that's what he did.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. This is why this one is interesting and different to me than the Onion, because the Onion is parody. The Babylon Bee, it says we're fake news, we're a parody account. I can see how pretending to be a police department might be put in a different category.
I could think you can make that argument, but
Unless there's a
I
line
think the fear
somewhere that
is
says somewhere like this is not the official account of the Department of Police, whatever.
And I don't know if he did that or not. I didn't see that.
When
But
you look at the
fear,
side by sides, the only observable difference is that one of them says City of Parma Police Department Police Station - Government Operation. The other one is City of Parma Police Department Community. Like there really is no clear difference between them.
the fear is this, though, that the Supreme Court, which has already been pretty aggressive and conservatively aggressive over the last 6 months, and they have. I know you looked at me weird, like they haven't, but they have.
I'm thinking about a lot of things right now, but continue.
Yeah. And because of that, I think the fear is, all right, well, if you tackle Section 230 and if you go aggressively conservative, then you're going to attack. A lot of the satire tends to be, I would say it tends to be non-conservative. Wouldn't you say that satire a lot of times isn't?
Other than the Babylon Bee, which is hugely popular, a lot of satire tends to, not be.
Right.
But I mean, the Babylon Bee, they got suspended from Twitter and all of that. So
that's not the same thing as being charged with a crime or facing a lawsuit of some kind.
Right.
And that's where the Onion is coming in. They don't want those things to now be in play because they might make fun of some people more than others.
Okay. So just stepping away from the Supreme Court, like any assessment of that, just going to the issue of satire. Here's the thing with America, which is in general a very free society, and you could argue we have more First Amendment rights than we've ever had in our history. A free society demands some level of responsibility from its citizens. The freer the society, the more responsibility the citizens have. Another way to put it is the less centralized your government is, the more emphasis there is on self-government. This means when it comes to areas of speech, or in this case, parody, it's important that people have common sense and discernment and discretion when they're taking in information. But if people can't understand parody or satire and they need to rely on centralized or government regulation to protect them from parody or satire, to me, that's abandoning your self-responsibility.
That's abandoning conservatism, too.
And it's abandoning oh my gosh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's
So if the Supreme Court goes that direction, that's not really a conservative position.
Highly regulating parody is trying to legislate to protect against stupidity and gullibility, and you just can't. Like, if you want true free speech, you have to have some sort of discernment, discretion. Do not be obtuse. And
we have
you can't protect
millions
against
of
that.
people who believe that one party is made up of devil worshipers who eat babies.
Well, and
we have a whole group of people that we just talked about earlier that believe that there are litter boxes in schools because kids identify as furries.
But that's my point.
I understand, but what I'm saying here is that and you're right. I'm not saying that any of those people who created those stories should be prosecuted. saying it is dangerous when we can't tell the difference. When people can't tell the difference, I'm not saying you should eliminate it. I'm saying you do have to be. It is different when you're trying to present something as this is real and this is I'm an authority, like I am the police department. I'm pretending to be this police department, as opposed to I'm the Onion.
Well, right. We were talking about parody, but to go along with what you're saying about misinformation, deliberate misinformation versus parody, the Onion and QAnon are two totally different things.
I understand, but that was what Thane Rosenbaum was getting into. Is this the concern? Is people believe fake crap easier than they ever have before, and it's muddying the waters when you're talking about these kinds of things.
And that's exactly right, because our laws and free speech in our free society depends on people not being super stupid. And the stupider our people are, the less freedom we are going to have.
Yep. Yep.
You have to have
you can't, and if you're going to tout personal responsibility, that goes for being able to identify satire.
Intellectual responsibility as well as
Okay.
the bootstraps.
We agree, but what do we do with the people that don't get it?
I don't know.
Because they do dangerous things.
Yeah. Well, you put them in jail when they do the dangerous thing, I guess.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near and dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight, or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
We are all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. After Halloween, your used jack-o'-lantern and other gourds are great additions to any compost pile. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Why are some people afraid to enjoy their retirement? And why are some people so worried about spending money during their golden years? Maybe it's because they're afraid of running out of money. Maybe they're afraid of depleting their nest egg, either through spending too much or through investment strategies that could result in losses. Hi, my name is Ken Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. Do you have a fear of depleting your savings and running out of money too soon? Let me help put your mind at ease. I can help you create an optimal retirement income distribution strategy that helps to maximize income from your retirement savings and eliminate your fear of running out of money. Call 314-328-4400 today and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-4400. Again, 314-328-4400.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
CertaPro commercial painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
Power of minimal disruption.
We work with you to ensure a smooth project,
The power of making you look good.
making sure it's done right, on time and within budget, so every property manager looks like a hero. That's CertaPro Painters.
The power of pro.
Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Throw on some flannel, pack a sweatshirt, and head to YMCA Trout Lodge this fall. There you can witness sweeping forests turning red and gold, greet the day in crisp morning air, and stay warm in the evening by the bonfire. Set aside phones while you enjoy unparalleled activities. Saddle up for a trail ride, fire a bow and arrow, fly down a zip line, create in arts and crafts, and much more. All just 90 minutes from St. Louis. Book your YMCA Trout Lodge getaway today. Call 888-FUN-YMCA or visit gwrymca.org.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If your home's important to you, check out my friends at Banner Construction. If you're looking for windows, you should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner is also a Platinum Certified Pella Window Contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. One of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner Homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. My friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. Call 314-569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com.
News, talk, sports. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
All right, coming up on the 1:30 news, Chris Ranji, Amy Marr scores, Kevin Wheeler with you. Ranji, you bring back anybody from the dead here in the last half hour?
I did not. Is there anybody you'd like me to resurrect? Because I could do
Hey,
it.
Halloween's coming up. That'd be pretty good.
Oh, that's true.
What about George Washington? We can get his
We don't.
opinion.
We're good. I mean, we what do we bring George back for?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of a historical figure. Abraham
Uh,
Lincoln?
Yeah, we could. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think it'd work anymore. Yeah, I apparently brought back somebody yesterday. It wasn't right. All right, so what happened? What had happened was
It's like you lost the will to live halfway
I
through
did.
that sentence.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I did. I totally lost. And
So let me ask you this. Are you catching a lot of flack from people in Chicago?
I did a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I have been today, though I haven't heard it because I'm working. So
Well, that's good, though.
I'm sure they're lighting me
They're
up.
not
a bit.
blowing your phone up.
They are not blowing my phone up. But I said that Ron Santo was calling the Cubs game today, and he's not because he has passed on. And
Yeah.
he passed on 12 years ago.
As
So
Charlie says, he is no longer
had
coming
my-
down for breakfast.
I had my Joe Biden Jackie moment.
Oh, God.
I mean,
although that was a little different. I didn't know what I said. I had to be reminded after the fact. He actually
you
thought she was
you
still
said
around.
Ron Coomer.
Yes.
Right in your head.
Yeah,
that's
and
what
in
you
my
were
head, I
saying.
thought I said Ron Coomer, but
Right.
I said Ron Santo.
And then the wrong name came out after that.
Well, sorry, I'm stupid. What do you want from me?
Hey, coming up a little bit later on, Cardinals baseball here on KMOX. It'll be the Cards and the Pirates wrapping up the regular season. And of course, this series against the Phillies in the wild card round starts on Friday at 1 o'clock.
KMOX, built for this.
And there's a comebacker. Helsley has it on the mound. Runs toward first. Flips to Goldschmidt. And the Cardinals can celebrate a Central Division title.
Wild Card Weekend kicks off Friday when Pujols and Molina lead the Cardinals into Game 1 against Bryce Harper and the Phillies. John Rooney, Ricky Horton, and Dan McLaughlin have the call on the exclusive home for Cardinals baseball, KMOX.
I'm Tamron Hall. Why give your family just ordinary eggs when they can enjoy the best? Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition compared to ordinary eggs. With 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, 25% less saturated fat, and 38% more lutein. Because the way we care is anything but ordinary. Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Main wreckage on the south side of the tracks. Report of male driver, late 20s, severe injuries.
Copy that.
Can you see the vehicle?
No, it's way up there. I heard a witness say the stop arm was down, but he tried to beat the train anyway.
Too many drivers are killed crossing railroad tracks, even though they know a train is approaching. What they don't know is, even after it breaks, a train can take up to a mile to stop.
Requesting ambulance stretcher to shuttle crash victim back to the road.
Copy.
Stop. trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is Debbie Monterey with a real estate update and some insight from my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria told me that sitting on the sidelines may not be the best strategy moving forward in this continually shifting market. Homes aren't selling as quickly, and in most cases, price reductions are becoming pretty common. Gloria also said that earlier this year, with low inventory, sellers didn't need a strategy to sell homes because homes were listed and sold immediately. Now more than ever, it's crucial to have a proven strategy to get your home sold, and that's why I strongly suggest you call local real estate expert Gloria Liu before you list your home to get the absolute most money. Gloria is so confident that she will sell your home, she'll guarantee in writing upfront to sell it at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she'll buy your home herself. Learn more by calling Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
At 1:30, it's sunny and 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. 26-year-old Stephen Cannon was sentenced today to life in prison. He had been convicted of killing 77-year-old David Dorn as the retired police captain was guarding a pawn shop during protests in the summer of 2020. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has just greeted President Biden, who arrived in hard-hit Fort Myers to tour some of the damage. DeSantis is looking for the feds to pick up 100% of the cleanup costs beyond the 30 days already pledged. He'd like to at least double that, considering the scope of the damage.
The 60 days is important. We may need more, and that's something that the president could obviously approve.
KMOX Sports. Albert might have taken his last swing during a regular season game last night.
1-1 our score. The pitch to Pujols. There's a line drive. Base hit to center field. 1 run scores. Here comes another play at the plate. Not in time. And one more time. Albert Pujols gives the Cardinals the lead.
Nico Sports is promoting a special edition bat for Cardinals fans to put on the wall. Bob Eibach.
It'll have a full-color action photograph of Albert on the barrel of the bat, that blue section of the bat, preceded down the handle with little red coloring down there. Really looks stunning.
Inscribers will have to wait to see if Pujols steps up to the plate today in the final game of the regular season to complete the numbers on the commemorative bat. Part of the proceeds go to Cardinals Care. Stalled vehicle 364 east past Arena Parkway on the right shoulder. Stall 44 west at 141 on the right shoulder. 64 east at Olive on the right shoulder. And the forecast from Dave Murray: a clear sky overnight, maybe a sprinkle with a low 55. For tomorrow, partly sunny and a high of 79. Friday, partly sunny, much cooler, breezy with a high of 59 to 60. It's sunny and 76 at the moment downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com. Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Goodwill and St. Louis Union Station have teamed up to take you under the sea and over St. Louis. When you donate a car, running or not, you can receive 4 tickets to the St. Louis Union Station's aquarium and wheel. Donating a car to Goodwill is quick and easy, and towing is free. Plus, you'll get a good feeling from donating to a charity that does so much in our community. For more information, visit mersgoodwill.org.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. Do you have a home or a business made out of stone or brick? If so, listen up, because Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis for 31 years. Morelli Tuck Pointing can work on completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches. This time of year, people notice that their patios are somewhat cattywampus and those bricks need realignment. How about caulking, waterproofing? Morelli is a family-owned and operated business. Longtime employees there feel like family. And of course, everyone at Morelli is very proud to be a recipient of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to local companies with exceptional customer service. Today, you can call to request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387. When it comes to bricks and stone, go to the best. Morelli Tuck Pointing at MorelliTuckPointing.com.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
It's the Cards and Pirates this afternoon. Ameren pregame show 210. First pitch 3:05. Hear the game on KMOX and streaming on KMOX.com.
134 coming up on 135 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Marr scores. Kevin Wheeler here. You guys want to dole out some marriage advice?
Well, who better to ask?
This is perfect because I need some marriage advice. I don't actually. I'm going to a wedding.
Well, you need some to give.
I'm
to
not getting
the
married.
people.
I'm going to a wedding, so I need to hand out this marriage
You need
advice.
a bit of wisdom.
Yes.
I have a wedding attendance question for 2 different weddings in back-to-back weekends.
Okay.
How bad of a person am I?
Pretty bad. Oh, sorry.
I'm not finished.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
If I RSVP'd, then I'm going,
Uh-huh.
but I decide to not.
Bad because they paid for that. Plate.
What if I send them a gift? It's okay, right?
Not really.
Probably
What do you mean?
Probably should make the gift a little extra.
You need to have a good reason, like, hey, I have COVID and I can't come to your
Oh,
wedding.
I have COVID.
Yeah, you should probably say that. It's rude because they have to. There could be like a really important but not too important uncle that they didn't invite because you took his
I
spot.
doubt it.
Here's the thing. How much will they care that you're not there?
Well,
Financially.
I mean, come on, immensely.
No, I mean, like, how close are you? Is it someone you kind of know, casually?
Oh no,
know?
they're friends. You know, it's not like my closest buddies.
But are
They're
they going to be
close.
like, oh, damn, Ranj isn't here?
But one of them requires me to go back to Rhode Island, and I was
Okay.
just there,
Okay.
and it cost a lot, and there were 90 flights to get there and 94 to get back. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
Would this person come to your funeral if you died
Like, say next week.
next week?
I don't know.
Like, would they be like, I'm broken, I have to go see?
Or
would they be like, hell, that's in St. Louis and I'm in Rhode Island?
Yeah, it's probably that.
Yeah.
Probably that.
Then you probably don't need to.
Then
go.
you're
All right,
probably
cool.
okay.
All right, I'm not going.
Yeah, you're probably okay.
All right, I'm off the hook.
But again, you may want to be, as Amy said, they did pay for your dinner.
That's what I'm not concerned about them, missing.
Yeah, because they
you.
really won't. There's
It's
so
the-
much going on.
It's the financial side of things. And when you're making a guest list, I've seen people painstakingly add names, take names away, add
Yeah.
names because
Yeah.
you are trying to stay within a budget and plates can cost so much.
Yep.
So in that sense, I think you're being incredibly
Been there,
and
done that.
extraordinarily selfish. But other than that, I'm sure it's fine.
I just went out there though.
That's
I
fine.
just went to Rhode
But
Island.
I mean, they're still paying for the food that you're not
Why'd
going
you
to be
say
there to eat.
yes?
Why'd I say yes to
The
this?
wedding. Yeah.
Because I thought I might go.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, when you say yes, it's not a binding agreement. It's not a
Yeah,
contract.
that's what I'm saying. It's not a contract.
Yeah. I mean, if I were doing that, though, I'd probably want to give a little extra on the present. Just be like, sorry, I didn't,
All right.
eat the food you paid for.
I will give you a 5% increase on my normal gift price.
Yeah.
5%.
Look, it's a, you
you
know what?
wear
This
the-
is my fault.
Do
I
you
know.
wear the same suit to every wedding? Outfit?
Well, I
Yes.
have a newer suit that I've just gotten.
Mm-hmm.
So not just, I got it last year that I wore to a wedding. So I'll probably wear it.
Yeah.
But
Right,
anyway,
there's one.
Like your wedding
Just
and
change the
funeral
shirt
suit?
and the tie every so often.
Yeah. Have you ever worn a cummerbund?
In my own wedding, maybe? I don't remember if we did or not.
what's the cummerbund for?
To make you look stupid.
Is it so you're, I know what it's for. Is it so your dumb fat rolls don't hang over your
it
pants?
doesn't really do that,
It's actually
though.
not a good,
It
not
just-
a bad point.
No, but I
Right,
mean,
so it doesn't look like it's hanging over your belt.
It doesn't really do that, though.
Really?
But it covers it up.
It can, but I mean, there's only so much.
Hmm.
Not that I have any experience with such ideas.
Oh,
He's like, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah. Most of the
No.
things you're like, would that work? No,
No.
they don't work.
You
You
know-
know what works?
what's
What?
that?
Losing weight.
That
In my
that
own
works,
personal
yeah.
experience, and again I say that as I'm not a skinny guy.
It's okay. Me neither. I'm getting fat. We're all fat. Everybody in the room's fat except for Amy.
Yeah, to a degree.
I don't think
Amy's just in shape is all.
I don't think
Neither of us run 20 miles a day.
I think we're all
Yeah.
normal. You guys are normal. No one.
I mean, we're
it's
within-
fine.
You are
We're-
not normal.
We are within the range of normal,
Whatever
but
normal
on the
means.
high end of the range of normal.
Like where it's starting to go from yellow to red.
No. It's still yellow, but
Okay.
you're on that range. It's
You- You know who's amazing at advice in general? Well, let me just go ahead and tell you.
Okay, tell
our
us.
boss.
Mississippi, well, sure. Mississippi State football coach, Mike Leach.
Of course.
Okay. And he had some wedding advice for a reporter who asked him to help him with said wedding. And this is what he had to say.
Well, I don't know. We'll keep a close eye on it, but whatever you and Trevor decide, I would kind of keep it on the down low, which you failed to do that. Trevor was probably planning to, but you didn't. So go ahead and don't say anything else about it. But as soon as the season's over, or even an off week, go elope. Trust me on that. Go elope, because basically every female in the family is going to terrorize you guys until it's over. Once it's over, I mean, they'll be upset for a few days, but it'll be over. And then, you cruise along, have a happy marriage, have a happy life.
I'll pass along the message. Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Trevor, unless he's crazy, is totally on my side. And trust me on this. If Trevor doesn't have the sense to do that, tell him to call me, because, I mean, he needs to do trust. I've told all my kids, I'll give you $10,000 extra if you elope. So far they haven't done it, but I would too.
He has like 4 kids. I think is what he.
It's got to be cheaper than an actual wedding.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when, like, if you're the father of the bride, the bride's family traditionally ends up picking up the bill or most of the bill or whatever. And there are times where you have arrangements that kind of balance it out, but that's the traditional way about it.
I have never been one to dream about like the wedding and what it's all going to be like at all. But I have decided that if I were to ever get married, it would 100% be a courthouse thing where you run by, get married, have the judge marry you. And so what would happen is one day I would come in and go, oh, guess what? I'm married. That's how that would happen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't want a party?
Well, we would do a party later.
Okay.
Yeah. But like the whole wedding thing, I think maybe because it's become so overdone with like the Bridezilla, it's a little off-putting.
Do you know whose fault this
Doesn't
is?
seem like the best way to spend your money
Here's-
either. Buy a house or a car or a vacation.
The reason these weddings are so elaborate
Yeah.
and there's so much going on
Over the top.
is that people have figured out a way to monetize helping people with their weddings. And then they come up with idea after idea.
Oh,
Here's another thing you can add.
wedding
Here's a
planners.
thing, wedding planners.
Not to say that you shouldn't do that job. I mean, there are
Right,
probably
but
people
the wedding,
listening that
let's
do
be
that
honest,
job.
the wedding planners have skyrocketed the price and all the stuff that goes into weddings.
But don't you think some of that is because the people getting married want to, it's like almost
They want it
not
to be a show.
status symbol, but they want it to be a show where they can outdo the other
But
person.
they only do it because they heard about what this wedding planner did for this other wedding. Like, oh, I want to do that, but it's got to be a little better.
I think those things exist. I don't think every wedding is like that. Because I've been to a bunch here recently. Just, my little sister was married a couple of years ago, like 2.5, 3 years ago. And it wasn't crazy like that. It wasn't competition. It was nice. It was it was a great gathering. They did things really well, but it wasn't like over the top insane. And a couple other relatives, same thing. It's been reasonable, smart things. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money, even if you're doing it that way. But none of them have been like, oh, they have champagne glasses stacked to the ceiling and whatever other stylish thing you could spend tens of thousands of dollars on. I haven't seen those.
Like it's
they exist, but I don't think it's normal.
I think it's wedding planners trying to one up the next wedding
Yeah.
planner so they can get business.
I don't know, man. I think it's people's own
Both.
dreams.
Both.
My brother and his fiance are doing the wedding, which I think is just a great way. They're doing it kind of like a father of the bride. Remember how they got married at the parents' house?
Yeah.
So they're getting married at my parents' house. It's being catered by
Steve Martin.
Taco Buddha. How awesome is that? Taco Buddha is catering their wedding.
Okay, forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
Taco Buddha. I don't know much about them. I assume they make tacos.
They do make tacos, yes.
But in a Buddhist way?
How would a Buddhist make a taco?
Very quietly.
No.
And calmly.
Yes. Very peacefully, Ron. It's a peaceful taco.
So they wouldn't make the taco go bam.
That's Emerald.
Yeah.
That's Emerald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that to me is like, have a wedding that it's not trying to impress people. It's something that is special and fun for you.
Now, I know it was a long time ago when Susan and I got married. We did nothing to impress anyone else. We did everything because we thought it would be fun and cool.
Yeah.
And, we had great help because our mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, my wife's mom, was the head of the Chamber of Commerce in the town where we lived. So we got help from a lot of people that she knew. She had connections, get good deals, the whole deal. but it was never about what anybody else was doing. It was never about what someone else's wedding was or what you saw on TV, maybe because it wasn't a thing, Bridezilla, that stuff wasn't a thing in 1994 when we got married, but it was entirely about that. So everything was in one place. Wedding, reception, the whole deal in a hotel so that nobody had to go anywhere. It was in December. It's cold. People are going to be drinking and boozing. So everybody's staying at that hotel. Nobody's drinking and driving and leaving. Great food, all that stuff. None of it was about over the top. It was just like, what will be fun? How can we have fun, the most fun possible with all of the people we know?
Yes, that is great. Also, this might be a St. Louis thing. You guys can tell me. But
toasted ravioli.
The St. Louis Catholic wedding in like the 70s and 80s. If you didn't have muscatoli, were you even married? Then it's a St. Louis thing.
No, it's not. I've been to those.
Because I feel like every St. Louis, especially every St. Louis
has
Catholic
muscatoli
wedding,
in it.
Yeah, has had that. Now this was 70s and 80s, not so much anymore. Now I did go to a wedding where they did all the St. Louis-y things, which was really fun. They had
toasted ravioli.
They had Emo's Pizza, World's Fair donuts, Pasta House.
Playing all the hits, man.
Yeah, Pasta House. They had all of it. It was really fun.
I believe it. I like the food. It's good. Hey, we have an update on something.
We do.
That we talked about yesterday. When we come back, we should discuss this because I have an update.
Anything further you want to tease us with?
Remember that guy who got smoked on the field by the Rams player, the random fan who ran onto the field and a Rams player.
The guy who got what he deserved.
Yeah, a Rams player came off the sideline and clocked him.
Yep, Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner. Well, there's been an update.
There's an update?
There's an update.
All right, we're going to get that update when we come back right here on the show.
If your business has 5 or more employees and managed to survive the past couple of years with COVID and inflation, you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. Yep, I know it's been a bumpy ride. There have been restrictions. Like we mentioned, the inflation, all of these different challenges and obstacles facing businesses. Well, this could be something that could help you. Go to getrefunds.com. Now, again, this isn't a loan. There's no payback. It is a refund of your taxes. GetRefunds.com. The team of tax attorneys they've put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program and have already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. Now, businesses of all types can qualify, including businesses that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. To find out if your business qualifies, just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and then answer a few questions. Getrefunds.com.
It's simple math. Rising prices equals tighter family budgets. I'm Katie Stewart. I'm a mom and a math teacher. In Springfield, I cut grocery taxes, froze gas taxes, and delivered income tax credits for working families. I helped pass measures to crack down on price gouging by drug companies to lower healthcare costs. I'm investing in vocational training to train workers for high-paying jobs like welders and carpenters that pay $35 or more an hour. I'm Katie Stewart. My opponent, Jennifer Cordy, has said victims of rape who choose to have an abortion will regret it later. Cordy is for a total ban on choice in Illinois. I'll protect a woman's right to choose, no matter what happens in Washington. It's why Planned Parenthood supports me. I'm Katie Stewart, candidate for state representative. I'm not a politician. I follow numbers, and our community is always first. Paid for by Friends for Katie Stewart.
Odyssey celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month and the trailblazers who made their mark worldwide. Dolores Huerta was the co-founder of the United Farm Workers Union with Cesar Chavez. She taught us the rally cry, Si Se Puede, and she inspired Latino farm workers to demand fair pay and better working conditions. Even today, at the age of 92, she travels to the country speaking on issues of social justice and public policy. Odyssey salutes Dolores Huerta on National Hispanic Heritage Month. More on the Odyssey app and celebrate the sounds and stories of Hispanic heritage at odyssey.com/HHM.
For 30 years, Banner Construction has offered the finest home exterior solutions featuring James Hardy and Pella Windows to give your home a beautiful new look. Visit bannerconstruction.com or call 314-569-1050. That's 569-1050. Banner Construction.
Hi, guys. It's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
Yes, with inflation, interest rate increases, and a possible recession looming, we are no doubt facing uncertain times in the housing market. But as a realtor with over 20 years of experience, I can tell you, if you're thinking of selling your home, now more than ever, you need a realtor to help you through these times while saving you money. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and we offer all of this for only 4%. Why pay more than 4%? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
At Archwell Health, the words convenience and care go together like coffee cake and coffee. Just ask Mary, who had a telehealth visit with her usual doctor the same day she woke up with an odd feeling in her chest. Or Robert, who was having issues with transportation and worked with us for rides to his physical therapy sessions. He even got a specialty care referral for other treatment needs last time he was here. We do everything we can to make wellness easy because you are more than a patient. Join today at archwellhealth.com/livewell.
Hey there, it's Hancock and Kelly from First Mid-Bank and Trust, a local bank right here in St. Louis with over 157 years of experience and 19 locations across the greater St. Louis area.
Yeah, First Mid-Bank and Trust is perfect for small business owners. You need a partner that you can count on, and that is First Mid-Bank and Trust, and they're great for everybody, whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement. Check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
This month's Zero Res special. The more you clean, the more you save. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129 or 5 rooms starting at $199. A 43% savings. Take $75 off any air duct cleaning package. Call 314-474-2020 or go to ZeroResSTL.com.
For all your communication needs, check out the Center for Hearing and Speech. Call today 314-968-4710 or chsstl.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4%? 314-441-4444. Kevin, Amy, and Chris now.
Best friends together.
Dave Glover at 2 on KMOX.
Final few minutes here before we turn things over to DGS. Ron, give us the update. The update on the idiot that ran on the field during Monday Night Football.
So as we talk about this, well, I think we talk about it every day. Don't run onto the field
ever.
If you are at a ball game,
Don't run onto the stage.
Don't run onto the stage. Don't run onto the ice, which doesn't really happen that much. I think you will get killed.
But you got to climb over the glass.
Yeah. So
very dangerous.
Don't do it because, in our opinion, whatever happens to you when you're on the field, that you got it coming.
You asked for it.
You asked for it. Whatever it is, you have asked for it.
Deserved.
Deserve it, yes. So Bobby Wagner in the game on Sunday leveled the fan. Well, the fan went to the police. He went to the Santa Clara Police Department.
You mean the police took him?
No.
He went.
This is according to TMZ Sports, which has broken the story. The man went to the Santa Clara Police Department on Tuesday following that incident and has filed a report because he was hit by the player, Bobby Wagner. A representative for Direct Action Everywhere, which is the organization that took credit for the wild scene at Levi's Stadium, told us the report stems from a, quote, blatant assault by 2 Rams players. So this person is intending to either file criminal charges, or there were no other further details, by the way, or is looking for a lawsuit down the road.
All right.
But he was not seriously injured.
He ran.
He ran onto the field.
Isn't this like when a drug dealer calls the police that they got their drugs ripped off? You were breaking the law.
Yeah.
You're on the field again. I mean, that's against the law. So should we say, fine, you can press this charge, but now we're arresting you?
Yeah, I thought he would have been arrested. He probably was, and then I guess released. And he had a little pink smoke bomb thing, like a little smoke thing.
Yeah.
And he was running on the field. Now, he was a protester protesting the unfair imprisonment of whistleblowers on factory farms.
That's right.
And again, I'm all for whistleblower protection. Don't go where you're not allowed to go and disrupt things.
I agree.
People out there like Bobby Wagner's like, we don't know what that guy's got in mind.
That's correct.
We don't know what he's thinking. We've seen people do stupid crap at games. I mean, you've seen it, Rod. We both saw in Chicago when those idiots jumped the first base coach.
Yeah.
You just don't know what somebody's going to do.
That's
Amy,
right.
You mentioned a million times the Monica Seles thing and the impact that had on you when you were a kid and you saw that. Like, you can't trust that the person out there isn't going to do something stupid. You just can't.
It would be irresponsible not to assume that someone who does something like that is a threat.
You're running from security, right? Security's trying to get you to stop. You're running from them. And again, most of the time it's a nothing. It's a drunk idiot who's like on a dare. This case, they're trying to, make a statement, political statement. Again, I'm fine with making political statements. Don't go on the field. Don't go on stage. Don't put other people in a position where they've got to decide, are you a threat or not?
That's right. And so let's put Amy's theory to the test. The politics is downstream from culture thing. And if that's true, I imagine 98% of people have the opinion, and I'm only guessing, but I bet I'm right. 98% of people have the opinion that if you run onto a field of play, you deserve whatever happens to you. Would you think the number is close?
No, because all the idiots in the stands cheer for them. Whenever
Well, no,
somebody
they cheer. No.
They're like, woo!
They cheer for it in the moment, but also secretly they're like, yeah, that person. If you get
They
trucked,
wanna see him get hit.
That's what it is.
Because Ranji would be cheering and also
All right, I'll go.
excited to see him
I
go to
will
jail.
make a more conservative projection. 90% of people. So if that's what people want, the law should be whatever happens to you on the field, that's what happens to you. Because you're not supposed to run onto the field.
I've always been of the free shots category. Like if you're out there, fine, but whoever's out there gets to take a free shot.
I think almost everybody agrees with that.
Yeah, nice.
Except for defense attorneys or whatever.
Yeah, stay in your seats, people. Stay in your seats. DGS coming up next on KMOX.
No.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one